Hello, hello, my lovely sovereign sisters. Welcome back. If you are new to the channel, welcome. All right. Like always, don't forget to go on ahead and give me a like and thumbs up in the chat for me. Or, sorry, it's been quite a day. It's been quite a day. Just go on ahead and thumbs up for me. Uh, like always, going ahead and say hi in the chat, interact in the chat with the lovely sovereign sisters. Okay. And if you're watching this after the live stream, please drop down in the comments and let me know what you thought about the live stream today. Okay. Um, okay, so after yesterday's video, like talking about women with low self-esteem and how, there are kind of like certain prerequisites that I feel as though a woman should have before she like starts dating, and there should just be a certain sense of self that she should have before she starts dating. I feel like it wouldn't be in good faith to make a video like that without making a video that will teach you how to facilitate that and teach you what steps to take in order to make that happen. So I already kind of have I have a not super old video, but I do have an older video, an older level up video. And then I also have like an upload only level up video. So this is like the actual first live stream video that I've done just regarding, leveling up and things like that. And I specifically wanted to do this level up for like in preparation for the summertime. Okay. In preparation for the summertime, only because this is how like I kind of think. Okay. So I kind of think of it like this. Um when like for instance, to prepare for summer, I try to prepare for summer like 6 months in advance, because I feel like everyone is always like, let's just talk about like on a physical level, right? Usually when like you aren't happy with your weight in the summertime I think starts like the 21st of June. Usually you don't start actually like getting a diet or like starting a diet until June. But that's like not wise to do, because pretty much that means that you're going to be losing the weight throughout the summer. So it's pretty much that school of thought of stay ready. That way you don't have to get ready. Okay. And when you do want to get ready, you want to get ready like early enough. You know what I'm saying? You want to get early enough for you to kind of, step out and feel a certain type of way, for the summertime. You know what I mean? So think of this as like a little 3/4 month glow up guide, you know what I mean, to give you like full like body, mind, lifestyle transformation. Okay. And so that way by the summertime, like by the time the summer arrives, you're gonna feel, you may not be where you want to be, because the thing about it is that like leveling up, it's a journey, it's a never ending journey. Okay. There should always be something in your life that you aspire to improve on, something in your life that you aspire to like level up in some form of fashion. Okay. So hold on, let me go to the chat really quick. No, I started early February to be extra snatched by at least May. Yeah, that's how you have to do it. And so there was a video that popped up on my For You page earlier on TikTok. And I thought it was a really, really good video to share with you all when it comes to the mindset of us women, when it comes to us trying to improve our lives, and how, although your external is very important, which I also discussed yesterday, your external locus of control, although that's very important, you do have to start with an internal locus of control regarding your sense of self. So let's watch this video, because I feel as though it's really good.
You want to be. In order to get there, you need to embrace the unknown. And in this patriarchal society, we are programmed to go against that. Therefore, women go against their own nature. And within that, we're left unsatisfied no matter what we do.
I feel like that's so important, okay, when she says that, you know, we always feel unsatisfied, you know, no matter what it is that we do. Men say this all the time to women, like they say it all the time regarding us women, like, "Oh, you're never happy. Oh, you're never fulfilled," and things like that. And it's usually always because there's something always being sold to us in order to fix like there's always a solution being sold to us through an external locus of control, right? Like the body standard, you know what I mean? Like as long as you fit this body standard, it's sold to you as like a solution. Like you'll get more male validation or you will get more career opportunity. And although that is true, you know what I mean? Although that is 100% true, you will realize that okay, even once you do that, you there's still other things that you're searching for. You know what I'm saying? And so it's important that although you should take pride in anything external, it's really important that you gain a sense of self regarding yourself on an internal level first and kind of create a vision on who do you want to be? Like what when you close your eyes and you think of the version of yourself that you want to be, what does that look like for you? How does this woman carry herself? Okay, how does she talk? How does she make others feel? How does she feel? So yeah, let me let her keep explaining.
It is in my nature to be in nature, literally, and I am, yet I'm not enjoying it because I'm doing the same exact things that I used to do when I was in America, when I was living with my mom, when I didn't have a job, when I didn't have money. I'm doing those exact same things. So even though my circumstances have leveled up, I as a woman haven't leveled up because I haven't embraced the unknown. But
That is like so important, okay? It's really really important. So for instance, I can give you an example of this even outside of like where it is that you live. So, you know, obviously we like, you know, women obviously in this community, the women that are subscribed to me that follow me, we tend to value education. We tend to value, you know what I mean, like working enough for yourself where you can sustain yourself and you can kind of create a life for yourself where you know you have enough security to kind of create the life that you want. However, there are a lot of women who you're working a 9 to 5 and you don't want to work a 9 to 5 anymore. You want to own a business. You want to work for yourself. You want to be an entrepreneur. And a lot of people, especially women, we are deathly afraid of like you're afraid of the unknown. You know, what if your business fails? What if you don't have enough? What if you don't have enough money for your business? It's always like what if, what if, what if? And so you're gripping on tightly to the things that you know. Like you know that your paycheck is going to be $2,500 biweekly. You know that you're going to work 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. You know what I mean? And so it's fear of the unknown. And the biggest thing is that you have to let go of fear because in order for you to get something that you've never had, you have to become a person you've never been. You have to do things that you've never done before. Okay. So, like, I'm used to living in my own space. Like, I'm living in my own space. And so, like, I'm going to be moving back in with my father because I just decided, you want to know what? The 9 to 5 thing isn't working for me. And I'm also going to be doing a video live stream tomorrow talking about why I feel as though beautiful women, strong minded women, you shouldn't be working a 9 to 5. I genuinely believe that you should not be working in corporate America at all when you are beautiful, when you are very strong willed, when you are very, very outspoken. I feel like women already have what they need to be able to take the leap of faith to be their own boss, be an entrepreneur, and pursue the passions that they want to pursue. Um, but there are certain sacrifices that you will have to make in order for that to happen. So even if you change your surroundings, if you don't, if eat, let's say you get a promotion, right? And let's just say you go from like making $40 an hour to $50 an hour. If you even though you're making more money, if you still have like the same spending habits, it's really not going to make a difference now that you're making $50 an hour. You know what I mean? In order for you to kind of, it's reflecting that you're making $10 more an hour. you would have to kind of like be like, oh, okay, I should be more mindful of what my spending is, even though I've gotten a promotion. If you always are always spending your money, you're maxing out credit cards and things like that, it's not really going to make a difference if you got a raise or not. You know what I'm saying? So there's something internal that you have to be aware of for you to change, for you to actually reap the benefits of you getting like closer to the woman that you want to be and achieving the goals that you want to achieve.
That is exactly what the feminine is good at. So please remember that and do things that you don't normally do in order to get results that you've never gotten. And in order to do that, you must go within. Do things that are going to fill you up from the inside out, not from the outside in. Filling you up from the outside in would be like me being in my dream destination, but I'm still miserable and I'm still confused and I'm still unsatisfied because I'm not embracing the unknown from the inside out. Because as within, so without. It has never been as without, so within. That is a masculine principle that doesn't pertain to us as women. If you're
So yeah, and then also guys, I cannot see the likes on my side, but I see my ladies telling you all to like the live. Please like the live. I really don't want to be one of those creators where it's like I'm going to stop giving you guys like I'm gonna just stop and wait for you guys to get the likes up in order for me to keep on like talking. I really don't want to be one of those content creators. So please go on ahead. All you have to do is just tap the thumbs up. That's really all you have to do is just lift up your finger, tap the like just to support me. Okay. The likes are free. Okay. So I would really, really appreciate it. Thank you guys. Um, I call them normies or Normieville. Yes, it was torture. There's no amount of books and videos that will ease the energetic work it takes to be around NPCs at work. Honestly, it got to the point where I just couldn't fucking do it anymore. In case you didn't know, I was fired. Okay, I was fired from my 9 to 5. If you want to know more about that, go on ahead and you could subscribe to my Patreon. The link is in the description. Also, I am offering one-on-one consultations. I only have them open for the weekend, ironically 9 to 5. So I have it booked. I have it open for every weekend. The consults are $100, but I promise it will be a value. Okay, you'll get book recommendations, you'll have homework, you'll have journal prompts. You'll actually be given things that you can work on in the interim until you consult again, or if you never need to consult again, you'll actually be leaving with something of value. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I was fired, and the universe just kind of was showing me the same signs over and over and over again when it came to my sense of fear, when it came into me having to level up. Because the thing about it is that the way that life works, okay, if you don't make a decision to change something, and if you don't step out on faith and do things that you're not comfortable with, the universe in life will make the decision for you. Okay. It will make the decision for you. So, like, I want to say, I probably started having problems around when I was like bodybuilding, because I was traveling for work and I started bodybuilding. So I had like a strong passion. I had like a thing that I was really pouring myself into, and it seemed to bother people that I had worked with. And so starting in like 2022, that was when being and working in a 9 to 5, it just energetically was very frustrating, and I just hated going into work every day. And even though I hated going into work every day, I was like, yes, but it's stable, it's a paycheck, it's a decent amount of money, and I just kept resisting it. So what happened was, like, one contract, they terminated my contract after they extended me. So like I did my 13 weeks, they extended me for a month, and then they terminated my contract. And they terminated it over like BS. And then I worked a couple more contracts, everything was fine. And then another contract, like they terminated it like a couple weeks earlier. And then this contract, like they straight up fired me after 2 weeks. And the thing about it is that the thing about it is that the universe will actually it will It will try to trick you, okay? It will try to trick you because every time I've never burned bridges. So I've always been able to have a boss that would offer me like back my job and be like, "Oh, you can come back and you can work with me, no big deal." Um and so that had happened. It just with, just within everything happening this past month, that's 100% what happened. My old boss had hit me up and was like, "Hey, do you want to come to work? Do you want to come back and work for me?" And I easily could have. And then the irony is that she ended up getting let go. She ended up getting let go right after she extended the offer to me. Um, and so I was like, you know what, universe, clearly you're trying to teach me something. Clearly, it like I would just be miserable all the time. So I was like, no, I'm going to take the leap of faith. Okay. I'm going to take the leap of faith and I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to pursue the thing that I actually enjoy doing. And me having to make a few sacrifices, it just is what it is. I much rather have a softer life for myself and like create a life that I want for myself than have to conform to anything else happening in corporate America and having to conform to all of these norms. And so a lot of this is also knowing yourself. This is the whole reason why I'm doing the spiritual channel. Because in order for you to be able to make decisions like this, you have to know who you are. Okay, if you don't know who you are, none of this advice that I'm going to give you is going to work. There are people out in the world who they're just not meant to conform to societal standards. They're not meant to get married. They're not meant to have children. They're not meant to work in corporate America. They're not meant to live in their birth country. They're not meant to do anything traditional. It's just they're a person naturally. They're just meant to go against the grain. And there's nothing wrong with that. And so once you're aware of that, life gets a little bit easier. And so now that I've learned enough about myself, I've done numerology. I've had palm readings. I've done astrology. I've done the tarot cards. And I've just like looked at like my past trauma and just really picked apart life experiences that I've had and choices that I've had and how they've made me feel. And so now I understand, oh, okay, I happen to be one of those people where I don't like authority. I don't like people telling me what to do. I don't want to conform to anything. So now I have to create my own reality. Okay. Girl, I burned my bridge on purpose, so I have no choice but to move forward. See? And the thing about it is that subconsciously, you will self sabotage just to put yourself in a predicament that will propel you forward, to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. And honestly, I feel like that's what I did with my last job where they had fired me. Okay. Um, because I wasn't trying to conform. Like I called shit out, whenever there was any disrespect. I stood on business and I was like, "You're not going to disrespect me. Like I don't care. The job isn't worth it for me. The job isn't worth it for me for you to disrespect me." I have my ex who adores me and will let me stay home, but I can't deal with his ass or submitting to him. That's annoying. I burned all my bridges at this point. That's me. I'm not a square peg. Yeah. And I feel as though little by little, my soul was being like drained, even though I was like making good money, steady paycheck, things like that. Oh, Joni, thank you. You are going to be a millionaire if you keep this YouTube up. Thank you. And that's another thing too. Um, other people, the thing about it is that I promise you, I know people will always say you shouldn't care about what other people think. You shouldn't care about what other people think. However, you should take heed of what people are telling you, especially if multiple people are telling you the same thing. So when people are telling you, because like I hear it all the time, you're going to be a millionaire, you're going to be successful. Like I've always heard that. And this is the reason why you should kind of start paying attention to how other people perceive you. You don't have to internalize it, but you should kind of like take notice of that because other people are noticing things that you don't even realize about yourself. So if someone's telling you like, "Oh, you're going to be a millionaire," and you're like, "No, that's never going to happen. That's never going to happen." Then you don't believe it. If other people are believing that you're going to be a millionaire and you don't believe that you're going to be a millionaire, you're never going to be a millionaire. So the first step with you leveling up is You have to create the vision in your head of who it is you want to be, and you have to accept the fact that it is 100% possible. Okay? That's the first step. I know it sounds super cliche, okay? I know it sounds super elementary, but it really is true when they say, if you can dream it, you can achieve it. Because I've wanted to do content creating since 2021, and I just would always fill myself up with doubt. I would always like have fear around like being on the camera, or if I'm gonna make sense, if people are gonna like my content. And my father would always tell me, like, just do it. Like, all you have to do is just do it. Everything will make sense along the way. All the questions will answer themselves. And that's exactly what happened. All of the questions, they're unfolding. The answers are right there. And I don't know, energetically, I'm in a really, really good place. And it's because the vision that I have set out for myself and where I want to be in life, I have 100% conviction to know, like, no, I 100% am capable, and I 100% know that I am going to do that. You're being steered. This isn't surprising to me. 32 after your first Saturn return. Exactly. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. That's exactly what I did. I was late all the time. Y'all, I I can't tell you the last time I came to work on time. So what's funny is that actually I made it an effort to be at work on time from the job that fired me, but I wasn't gonna fix my mouth funny to appease those people. I'll tell you that. I wasn't gonna like play nice with them amid their disrespect and their bullshit that they were having me do. Mm-mm. No, 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 absolutely not. Hug, how did we get so lucky to get to hang out with you more? The universe was like, here. But I would always come to work late. I would always come to work late. And the boss that wanted me to come back to my old job, she didn't give a fuck. Like, she didn't care that I came to work late. And the thing about it is that the places that let me work for them and the places that I never burned bridges with, they didn't give a fuck about who I was. Like, they let me authentically be myself. Like, my old boss actually liked it that I would like push back like to the doctors. She actually liked the fact that I wouldn't tolerate any disrespect. You know, she actually respected it because she pretty much was the same way. We were very, very like minded. And then when I lived in New York City, same thing. They knew I had a strong personality, and they didn't care that I had a strong personality. They were like, that's just who you are. Like, that's just who Megan is. Megan's my real name, but that's just who Megan is. Like, she's just got a strong personality, you know what I mean? But she knows what the fuck she's doing, you know? Here to do a job. And so this is why I have a hard time with the 9 to 5 corporate culture, because you're there to do a job, and on your job description, they always are very vague, because it's like, oh, we want someone to like be a team player, when whole time team player just means like they want you to conform and just like allow bullshit to like keep everything like to not rock the boat. You know, that's what they really mean when they say like team player. You know what I mean? So it just got to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm not putting up with this. I'm not putting up with this. You are effortlessly good, a quiet confidence with that communication house you have. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm constantly told to do a podcast or something like that. So believe it or not, I actually started off with a podcast before I actually started, doing this. I started off with a podcast. So my goal for 2024 was to become monetized as a content creator. I started off with a podcast. I don't know, I just kind of felt weird being behind a microphone because I was just only doing an audio. I wasn't doing any recording, visual recording. And I don't know, something just felt I just felt like it wasn't, my mix. So then I went to TikTok, and every day I just woke up and I was like, I'm just going to pull out my phone and just say what the fuck is on my mind. Like, that's it. Like, I'm just going to be raw, unfiltered, and teach women what I know. And have no shame about, like, my past, me being a stripper, all these things. Have no shame and just be myself. And then I ended up getting monetized on TikTok. And then I brought the same exact mindset over to here, and boom, that's it. The same thing ended up happening over here. So once you really like have a goal in mind, a clear goal in mind on what it is that you want to do, then you can go on ahead and you can make that big goal, and you can, make it turn it into smaller goals that are going to be achievable. I think the biggest thing with leveling up, the biggest fear that women have when it comes to leveling up is because, you know, you're only looking at the end goal and you're only looking at how far away it is, how much work you have to do to get there. And if you look at it like that, you're always going to be discouraged. You're not going to have any motivation to do anything. Um, because you realize like that's a big goal, you know, to accomplish. If you break it down into actionable steps that you can do now, okay, that like you actually can do right now, it's going to reduce the amount of fear and anxiety that you have centered around you making these decisions. So, like, if you know that you want to leave your 9 to 5, you need to look at your expenses. Do you have a car note? Like, I'm going to trade it, like, I'm trading in my car to reduce my car note, you know what I mean? Or to not have a car note at all, depending on, you know, what type of car it is that I want to get, or even like buy my mom's car. So, like, even in my head, I'm like, you know what? What I could do, I could trade my car in for like a used luxury car, and then I could buy my mom's car, her second car, for like a few $1,000s. And then what I could do is I could just rent that car out on Turo, like the luxury car, like a used luxury car. I could just rent that car out on Turo and have passive income, and then just drive around in my mom's older car for that I only paid a few $1,000s for. Boom. I'd be having someone else pay for my car note while I am driving around in a car that there's no car note at all. You know what I mean? Like, so you have to kind of think outside the box and like understand being resourceful and kind of understanding that there are certain sacrifices that you are going to make. I didn't like living at home until I don't want to say I didn't like living at home. However, um you know how it is when you're living with either a partner that that you really don't get along with, or that you know is like undesirable to you, or you just have an environment where you're living with like your parents and it just may not be the most ideal situation. So the thing about it is that you always have to remember that there's a price that you have to pay. The harsh reality when it comes to leveling up, there is a price you have to pay. So for instance, if you are used to living alone and you're currently living alone, you are paying the price through your finances, right? Because mentally you're not paying because you have your own space. You can do whatever you want at your own home. You can walk around naked, you could blast the music, all that stuff. You're financially paying a price. But if you decide, okay, I need to cut my financial expense and I need to move in with a friend, or I need to move in with my family, you won't be paying rent. You won't be paying rent, but you will be paying in maybe your emotional energy, or you will have to be paying the price of you not having as much freedom because you're under someone else's roof. So, you know what I mean? They have their own rules. You know what I mean? It may not be the best environment. You may have to unfortunately pay with a little bit of mental anguish. You know what I mean? So the harsh reality of leveling up is that you're going to have to pay a price. It's the same thing on a physical level when you're trying to go to the gym and you're trying to lose weight. If you don't go to the gym and you haven't been eating healthy, you have to pay the price of um lack you have to pay the price of delayed gratification, right? Because it's going to take a while for you to lose this weight. You're going to have to pay the price of you no longer having a dopamine spike because you're no longer eating fast food, you're no longer eating all this sugar. And then you're also going to have to accept the discomfort that comes along with working out. You know what I mean? Working out is uncomfortable, okay? Running, weightlifting, you're going to be sore the next day. It's going to be uncomfortable walking and things like that. So there's always going to be a price to pay whenever you decide to level up. The thing that I don't like about a lot of the level up advice and like you upgrading your life is that I feel as though too many women try to make it cookie cutter, and they try to make it seem as if it's like this they try to make it seem as if like you're gonna be Barbie and like you're just bouncing up and down, like super happy, like leveling up. And it's like, no, leveling up, it actually takes a lot of grit, and it is really not this it's not 100% this all encompassing, wonderful, blissful process. It's not. My friend is a single mom and she let herself go after abuse. How can I help her level up her looks? She's not financially there yet to do so. So what you can do, take her, go get pedicures together. Go get pedicures together. Something very small, or go with her to go get a no chip manicure. Those are super super cheap. Or what you can do, you can Amazon has like the no chip gel kits. You get the nail polish, you get the little curing thing. You could even gift her that. You know what I mean? So especially if she doesn't have any children, that way she would have a little bit more time. So if she doesn't have any children and she has like enough time, maybe you could like gift her with that. But I would do something like nice, like maybe one to two times a month with her. So getting a pedicure, yeah, getting a pedicure or a manicure, taking her out to dinner, like taking her out for a nice dinner occasionally, things like that. That way she can actually, be like treated well. You know what I'm saying? Treated well in some sense of herself. Look back and she can look at her nails and be like, oh my gosh, like my nails are so beautiful. Or look down at her toes and be like, oh my gosh, or get her perfume or something like that. Oh my God, I love that idea. Yes, gift her the nail set. It lasts a very long time. Exactly. And she can use that. And like I said before, on Amazon, those like gel nail kits, the nail polish and the little curing thing, it's literally like $40. They're really not all that expensive. But the biggest thing, and like Jessica makes a very good point, the biggest thing when it comes to you having friends or you seeing people that are in very dangerous situations, they might be in abusive situations and things like that. The biggest thing is that in order for them to come out on the other side, they have to be willing to accept the discomfort that comes along with that. Okay, because you can't force another person to do this. They have to be willing to want to do it. Okay. And yes, I like that idea too, Joni. Go on walks with her. Yeah, get in nature. It is get in nature. So that's a thing. That's one thing I can say I've never struggled with. Um, you can't force someone to change. You just can't. All you can do is just help facilitate them. Like I for sure have had my stint with having friends who they just 100% they weren't on board yet with what the decisions that I felt like they should be making for them to have a better life. Mean, like one of my friends, she literally just decided, you know what, I'm leaving. She left healthcare like me. She's living in Texas right now with her dad and her sons. And like now her sons are taking care of her. And she's like, listen, I've taken care of everybody. I have taken care of everyone. She had her first child at 14, her second child at 16. She's like, I have lived my whole life taking care of everyone else. I am ready to be taken care of. So literally, they're paying for their home to get renovated back in the Midwest. Her boys are taking care of her. She doesn't have to work. She's living with her dad. She is like good, but it's only because she finally took the leap to like walk away from like men that were bad for her, walk away from the toxic culture of being in healthcare. Cause she literally would tell me, she's like, I would be sitting in my car. I'd be sitting in my car and she's like, physically, I could not get out the car when I would pull up to work. She's like, I literally could not get my feet to get out of the car to go to work. And so she was like, literally, she's like, I put in my 2 weeks. They wanted me to work a month and she couldn't even finish out the whole month. She just said, fuck it. And so that's the thing. Like I said before, if you don't make the decision, your body is going to make it for you. Okay. Your body is going to make the decision for you. So the biggest thing, if you can avoid it, just try to make the decision before your body makes it for you, because your body making a decision for you can manifest in very, very negative ways. Like when we were talking about LeAngelo Ball and Miss Nikki Baby, but we were talking about LeVar Ball's wife. Like his wife had a whole stroke. You know what I mean? And I feel as though with what we know about her husband, with what's been displayed, his character, how loud he is, how angry he is, how aggressive he is, that sheds a lens on how it most likely looks like in their home life. And so when women don't walk away from, toxic workplace culture, toxic men, it usually manifests in some type of autoimmune disease, stroke, some type of chronic illness. And that's just based off of the fact that your cortisol, okay? You have to remember this world, when they say this is a man's world, it really is a man's world. Everything that you do, everything that you partake in, none of it was created for the feminine. Everything was created for the masculine. The 9 to 5 work schedule, that's created for men. The medical practices, that was created due to men. They didn't even start using women for studies in medical care until 1994. So you just think, I mean, it really hasn't been that long since women have actually been taken into account with these type of things. And so that's why I liked it, that woman that said that, like, the feminine is a lot more free. The feminine naturally thrives more in freedom than it does in this like chained society that we have created. Men thrive in that type of society, not us. Okay. Congrats on 10K, Queen. Thank you. Your body will tell you. Yep. Screw 2 weeks. They will fire. Oh, exactly. So you want to know what's funny? Because this is what's hilarious. So she did this is how ungrateful corporate America is. This is how ungrateful corporate America is. This is the reason why a few years back I quit picking up overtime. I quit being the hero. I quit helping these jobs. I quit fucking helping them. It's standard to put in 2 weeks. And if you really think about it, the way that these jobs are treating their employees, you giving 2 weeks is a courtesy. Like, let's just call it what it is. You giving them 2 weeks is a fucking courtesy, because you don't even want to work another day there, let alone 2 weeks. So technically, when she put in her 2 weeks, she was doing them a favor. She was doing them a favor. When they asked her if she could work a month instead, she just said, fine, I will work a month instead. She worked her 2 weeks, which is technically formally what you're supposed to do. And she said, I had enough. I can't do this. I'm done. They told her that she could not use them as a reference. They told her that she could not use them as a reference because she decided that she did not work. She didn't do essentially a month notice as opposed to a 2 week notice. And so because of that, they said we can't use you as a reference. So that's the reason why it's for that very same reason that I'm like, you know what? Fuck these. Like, no. Nope, nope, no. It's not even worth it, because look at how they treat you. Look at how they treat you. You don't even want to go. You don't even want to go back to work. You're trying to do the right thing. You're trying to do the right thing and like give your 2 weeks, and they want a month, and they're not even happy that you even gave them 2 weeks in the first place. No. They would use 30-year-old men to experiment on. Oh, and then not only that, your vehicle that you drive in. Yeah, your vehicle that you drive in, the test dummies that they have for the crashes, those are for men. Those are based off of how men take the impact. Women have a much higher chance of dying in car accidents because the cars in the testing was not designed for women. This is the reason why I am a firm believer that um holding you hostage, like men that you're in relationships with holding you hostage and they're driving behind the wheel, they will weaponize the fuck out of that. They'll speed up. They'll swerve all crazy. They'll do things knowing that you can't get out the car. And if they do something crazy in the car, you have a much higher chance of dying from the crash as opposed to those men. Yeah, I've heard of that's what they're saying, like all the Gen Zs are doing. Cause see, I'm telling you, I love Gen Z. People could say anything they want to about Gen Z. They're doing quiet quitting. They're quitting over any little thing. Like if you don't, they'll request PTO and you'll shave 2 days off their PTO and they'll fucking quit. Like they don't care. Gen Z is completely changing the culture of putting themselves first. Okay, so I already told you all that the first step with leveling up is to define your vision of leveling up. How do you see yourself? Are you living in a different country? Are you living in a different state? Are you an entrepreneur? How do you look visually? How are you dressed? How do you look? Your size, your hair, all of that. You need to close your eyes and you need to visualize what it is that you who it is that you aspire to be. And you already have to believe, okay, I'm that person. I'm that person already. Okay. So, what do you want to look like by summer? How do you want to feel by summer? And then, what do you want people to think when they see you by summertime? Okay. Those are the three things that I want you to ask yourself. What do you want to look like by summer? How do you want to feel by summer? What do you want people to think when they see you by summer? Okay. So, just drop it in the chat. Just drop one word in the chat that describes the woman that you want to become by summer. Just one word. It could be confident, it could be sexy, it could be business driven, it could be risk taking. I need to be 40 pounds down by summer. Okay, okay. Bountiful. Nice. I like that. Feminine. Nice. Business owner. Secure. Yep. Healthy. Fine. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Smart. Instinctual. Skinny, thick, and confident. 50 pounds down. Okay. Look thick, feel healthy, think damn. I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh, I love your name Abundantia. I actually have a figurine. I have a beautiful figurine of Abundantia when I went to Mexico. Actually she's a part of my altar. She is whenever I'm traveling, she's a part of my altar and I have a little cinnamon jar for her and I have like coins, little gold coins for her and I give her money and pay her with whatever money it is that I make so she can give me abundance back. I love that. Damn. Determined, radiant, ethereal. Oh, wow. She's a deity. Yeah, you can look it up. One word is hard. Mine is Jennifer Check and from Jennifer's Body. I love it. Shira Strong. Yes. Free. Organized. Yeah, cinnamon is good for abundance. So if you want your money, if you want your money to flow, cinnamon is really really good. And then for a lot of people, this is what I do, but for protection purposes, you could probably get them online, but I do know like going into the autumn season, especially at Trader Joe's, they'll have cinnamon brooms. And so sorry, I'm kind of going more into like more spiritual talk, but you can take the little cinnamon brooms and you just put it outside of your door and it signifies like protection and abundance and things like that. You have an altar, you're my kind of girl. Yeah, put a cinnamon stick in your wallet to keep money in it. Yep, spiritual. So exactly. So this is you already shaping your goal. Okay. So now you can break that down and say, okay, if I want to lose 50 pounds, if I want to lose 50 pounds by 3 months, okay, what do I have to do? Okay, I'm gonna cut out alcohol. I'm not gonna eat any fast food. I'm gonna prep my meals. I'm going to make sure I get 10,000 steps a day, and et cetera, et cetera. So breaking down that one word into actionable steps of what it is that you can do to achieve that goal. And then the next step number 2, is to fix your mindset. Okay. Like I told you all before, if everyone is telling you that they see that you're going to be a millionaire, you're going to be a business owner, you're going to be a singer, they're telling you what they believe, like you're hearing it repeatedly, what they see you achieving, what they see you doing. If they believe it and you don't believe it, none of it is ever going to happen, okay? The faith and the belief, it has to come from you, and it has to come from your mindset and what you think of regarding yourself, okay? Your glow up always starts in your mind. You cannot level up with broke, insecure, scarcity mindset, fear, lack. You won't be able to level up with having those type of thoughts, okay? So you have to cut your self-doubt, telling yourself, I'm not ready, I can't do it, I'm not good enough, it's too late. Those are all lies, okay? Those are all lies. There's no such thing. There are people out here who started their career when they were 20 years old, did their career for 20 years, and then woke up at 40 years old and decided, I'm going to go be a doctor. I'm going to go be a psychiatrist. There are people who were a physician and they're like, you know what? I want to go be a bricklayer now. I want to go be a coal miner now. It's never too late. As long as you have breath, you have options. I'm going to say that again. As long as you have breath, you have options. There is no such thing as doing something too late. Ever, 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 ever. So, like, have a placebo effect. Yes. And this has been repeatedly studied in medicine. Before they actually were giving people medicine, they were treating people based off of placebo effect. Because the thing about it is that you have to, I plan to give like book recommendations to help frame your mindset around these things. However, the mind and the body are interconnected. They are highly interconnected. So, excuse me, usually people that are always living in fear, people that are always self-doubt and things like that, usually their body, there's imbalances with their body energetically. They'll have muscle imbalances, they'll have digestive issues, they will have uterine issues, they'll have fibroids and things like that. Like, I'm a firm believer that fibroids is based off of stress, it's based off of fear. And the thing about it is that I worked across the country to see different demographics, and I can put two and two together. Like, the worst uteruses that I've ever seen in my life were always in New York City from women. Always in New York City. I've never seen uteruses like that in my life. Like, terrible, like fibroids, like horrible. And I feel as though the reason why that is because as a woman, um, New York City, it's a fast place. It's a very, 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 very fast paced environment. And I do feel as though that's not good for the feminine. It's got a lot of pollution. It's a very dirty place. It's not all that clean. Um I liked living in New York City when I was energetically at a lower frequency, but when I came back to New York City, and I was living there in 2024, I did not like it. I did not like it. I came back as a whole different person in New York City, and I did not like it. My body, like, and I knew that my body didn't like it. I was always sick. I was always sick when I was in New York City. I had to call off of work so many freaking times. My lymph nodes were always swollen. My lymph nodes were always freaking swollen, and I had so many respiratory issues when I was living in New York City. Now that I'm here, I'm right outside of Boston. I'm in suburbia. It's quiet here. Everyone's friendly here for the most part. I haven't had any issues with my health whatsoever. Just so, even geographically where you are located, it also really does make a difference on um how that is going to affect your mind, and then how that manifests into your body. And this is why it's really important for you to pay attention to your body. Okay, it's very, very important. I'm a masshole and I can't stand New York. People say Boston drivers are bad, but New York is awful, no comparison. So this is what I think, just for me living in both. Um the New York City drivers are super erratic, okay? They're super erratic. Um And those roads that aren't main roads, they're super super tiny, and then there's a lot of that double parking, so that just causes all types of issues. Okay, I just feel here in Massachusetts, it's just people don't stay in their lane when they're driving. No one drives crazy here. It's just like I feel like no one ever stays in their lane, because in New York City they drive crazy. Super crazy. I got the bad energy from it in April 2020, even through watching video or footage of NYC. Horrendous energy. Yes. NYC is evil. They did their ritual back in 2001, open up a portal. I believe it. I totally believe it. Totally believe it. Absolutely. Okay. So, affirmations. Affirmations are important. I was really, really blessed. So, I don't go to therapy anymore. I don't. I'm one of those people that I genuinely really do feel that therapy is something that you should graduate from therapy. And then based off of any life situations that come up, then you can go back to therapy. But when I hear people that like chronically go to therapy, when they tell me like, oh, I've been going to therapy for 10 years, I really question their therapist, and I really question what advice their therapist is giving them. So I had a really shitty breakup in 2021, and so that's what made me want to go to therapy in the first place. And one thing that I liked about my therapist is that my therapist she's more of a holistic therapist. And I also like the fact that she was a Black woman. I am one of those people that believes that you should get therapy from someone who is the same demographic as you, just because at the end of the day, there's just certain things that you can only empathize with unless you have been through it. You know what I mean? And there's just some experiences that other demographics or other cultures, they're not going to be aware of. But I didn't know what affirmations were until I had went to therapy. And so she would like literally tell me, like, based off of whatever I had told her that day, she would have me write down 5 affirmations, and then every day she would have me take each affirmation and write it down 5 times, and then I would like say them out loud. So you can there is an app that you can use. It's called I Am, and they do have a free version. They also have a paid version. So they give you different categories of affirmations. So they have body positivity affirmations, they have business ownership affirmations, they have breakup recovery affirmations, and you can time the affirmations popping up on your phone, and like they'll also send you alerts, so they'll send you affirmation notifications throughout the day. But you can do like a 5 minute, a 10 minute, or a 15 minute affirmation like daily. So I like using the app I Am. But affirmations are important because affirmations, it pretty much plants the seed. It does. It plants the seed. And I love that they call the app I Am, okay? Because I feel as though that's very important. Like the thing with affirmations, especially when it comes to you leveling up, you have to be clear, okay? You have to be crystal clear about your affirmation and you essentially setting an intention, okay? So, I am a millionaire, not I will be a millionaire. You're a millionaire already, because guess what? In order for you to be a millionaire, you have to have a millionaire mindset before you're actually like physically a millionaire, where you can actually touch the money. Okay. The reason why people are millionaires is because they already had a millionaire mindset before they became one, right? So affirmations are important. And then I already mentioned it earlier, but visualization. Okay. Already seeing yourself as a millionaire, the business owner, 50 pounds lighter, feminine, all of those words that you all used. Seeing yourself as that person already. And what does this look like? You being feminine. Does you being feminine mean um you go to work whenever you want to? So maybe you have a PRN job. Does being feminine mean that you have someone that is like taking care of you? Maybe you have a child taking care of you, or maybe like, I don't know, a boyfriend or something taking care of you. How does this look? You want to get very, very specific on what this looks like for you, because the thing about the universe is that, so like for instance, okay, if you say, universe, I hate my job, I hate my job so much, I'm over this, I don't want to work this job anymore, you'll go to work next day and the job will fire you. The job will fire you. And then you're like, well, what the fuck? But if you were to say, you know what, I do not like, I'm going to put myself in a predicament where I'm going to leave this job and I am going to work. My next job is going to be at this place, working this shift, making this amount of money. And I will start working there within 6 months. That's how intentional you have to be, because I kid you not, I cannot tell you the amount of times that myself and then friends that I know, you will complain and be like, I hate this job. I wish I didn't have to work this job anymore. And then you go to work and they fire your ass because the universe heard you loud and clear. Oh, you don't want to work this job anymore? Okay, cool. I'll give you exactly what you want. And then boom, you don't have a job now. YouTube has tons of subliminal affirmations, some for Black women by us too. I'll check out check out the I Am app. Yeah. And you can obviously do it on YouTube too, easily. I've been doing them for 8 months nonstop. My confidence is sky high. I did tons of inner work for 5 years previously. Have you ever done shadow work? Yes, I've done shadow work. If you're not familiar with shadow work is something that was created by the psychologist Carl Jung. I personally, I don't like all of Carl Jung's work, but I do feel as though, just like with everyone's work, Freud, Carl Jung, you pick the meat and you spit out the bones. Okay, you take certain aspects of what it is that you like, and pretty much the school of thought with shadow work is that you live in a society where you have to be perfect forward facing. Okay, so pretty much you kind of have to be a mask. You don't want yeah, Jessica, that's why I said that, because I know that you don't like Carl Jung. I remember you mentioning that before. um Pretty much that you have to be perfect when it comes to like forward facing into society. You know what I mean? You have to withhold your opinions. You have to always appear to be perfect. You have to hide your feelings. You can't come off too emotional. You can't come off too weak. Everyone has a negative side to them. Everyone has parts of them that are not uh they wouldn't be deemed as being, you know, favorable things. That's just a part of life, okay? So it's pretty much a school of thought where you have like a light side and you have a dark side. And so pretty much he explains that when you're suppressing these shadow parts of yourself, you are suppressing yourself as a whole person. And so instead of you shaming yourself for, I'm ill-tempered, I'm impatient, you start to embrace those things and you start to accept those things about yourself. And like I said before, I feel as though it is important. It's pretty much just accepting things about yourself. Like me, I change my mind all the time. Okay, I'm not a very reliable person when it comes to me making a solid decision on something. I will change my mind. I will change my mind in a heartbeat. I know that about myself. I'm very honest about that with myself. It just is what it is. It's a part of my personality. I yeah, I just am one of those people where I have a very fluid identity when it comes to what I am willing to do. And if I get like a new piece of information within that second, it will make me change my mind, because now I have a new piece of information and now I can make an informed decision and then I could kind of steer the other way. That For most people, that's deemed a very, very poor characteristic. That's deemed to be a very, very poor trait. But it is what it is. That's just who I am. That's just who I am. So yeah, essentially you moving as though you are already the woman that it is that you see yourself being. Okay, so you want to own a business, you got to start thinking like a business owner. You got to start making connections. You got to start getting creative. You got to start making investments. You got to start taking risks. You know, you have to start taking these small steps in order to get yourself in a predicament where you are going to be a business owner. When facing shadow side, pretty much be acknowledging it. Yeah, acknowledge it and accept it. Acknowledge it and accept it. I think my Mercury is in Leo. This is for Western astrology, right? I think my Mercury is in Leo. Hold on, I'll be able to tell you, but I think it is. I'm the same way. I change at the drop of the hat if I feel the need to. It's how I adapt. Yeah, I feel like this. You're on Earth. You're on Earth and you can change your mind. Like honestly, you can change your mind. I remember when I had a boss and I wanted to come back doing breast ultrasound. I hadn't worked there in like 2 years. I hadn't worked there in like 2 years. And when I came back and I was doing breast ultrasound, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I just will go back and do general. I don't like the vibe over here. And the reason being is because I had did breast ultrasound at other facilities. I gained more experience. I gained more perspective from other places. Hold on. Oh yeah, my Mercury's in Capricorn. I have so many Capricorn placements, it's ridiculous. Um so yeah, I remember telling the boss, I was like, I don't want you to put me on the schedule being in breast ultrasound anymore. Like, I don't want to be in the breast center. Like, just put me in the general department. And I remember she was like, but you said that you wanted to do breast. Like, why all of a sudden are you changing your mind? And I had to tell her, I'm like, I have the choice to change my mind. I'm allowed to change my mind. That's just a part of life. Like, I have the right, I have the freedom to change my mind. If I don't want to do it anymore, I don't want to do it anymore. Whether that means I'm not going to do it anymore and I'm going to quit, or I'm not going to do it anymore and you won't schedule me there anymore. But I'm allowed to change my mind. And you're allowed to change your mind. It's essential for us to be able to adapt or understand what's not for us is not for us. Exactly. The thing about life, and like Faye, I like that you said this, like, why stay the same forever? That sounds like torture to me. Exactly. And the thing about it is that, um, the thing about it is that we live in a society where you are pretty much, they want you to be stagnant. They want you to fit into a box. They want you to pretty much be so conditioned that you just do whatever someone tells you and you don't question it. You don't ask any questions. And you're taught this at a very young age. You know, if you're a child that was very probing and very curious as a child growing up, you will ask your parents question, oh well, it's none of your business, you know what I mean? Go play with your friends. You know, a lot of us grew up in an environment where we were seen and not heard, so you're already conditioned very young to just not question anything, to feel as though, oh well, if I rock the boat, I'm going to be met with some form of, you know, like outcast or some type of form of rejection. You know what I mean? And so it makes people feel uncomfortable when you choose to be a person where you're fluid, you adapt, you kind of go where the wind blows you, because like we said earlier, for most people, it's scary. Okay. Like, look at the boomers. Like, no offense to any of the boomers, but it's like you'll work with boomers as like a Gen X or a millennial or Gen Z, and you can just tell the boomers are jaded. Like, the boomers will be super, super jaded. Well, the reason why the boomers are so jaded was because they did everything the government told them to do. They did every single thing that society told them to do. And then they look back and they see that, you know, they're you can make money off of your phone now. Like, you literally can whip out your phone and start making money. You don't have to punch in and punch out. You don't have to deal with the toxic workplace culture. You can go travel the world while you're still making money. We were awarded a lot more ability for freedoms, and they weren't. And the thing about it is that the reason why a lot of those boomers in the workplace are so miserable and so jaded is because they realized that they were lied to. And all it took was for someone to tell them what to do, and they did it. They made a choice to not question. They made a choice to not resist. And so when they work around people who, you know, like for instance, for me, when I started ultrasound, I already knew I'm going to work at this hospital for 1 year to get my experience, and then I'm on to the next. I'm not staying at this place. We had to take call. We were heavily understaffed. They were excessive ordering. And I would just look at these boomers and I would be like, how the fuck did you work here how are you working 30 years here, 40 years here already? I could never. I could never do this. And so guess what? I didn't do it. I didn't do it. And I'm going to touch more on this tomorrow too, but I was always having issues with boomers at the workplace. Always having issues with boomers at the workplace. Oh yeah, boomers definitely got the property. But this is what I find so funny. Boomers had everything handed to them. Like boomers had everything handed to them. They were able to they were able to buy a home. They were incentivized to buy a home. They were incentivized to go to college. They had a lot of incentives. Boomers had a lot of incentives to be able to level up in their life easily, easily. And you look at them and they're still not happy. They're still not happy. They have a house that they bought for $47,000 and now the house is worth like $1.4 million and they're still not happy. And the reason why they're not happy is because, yeah, they have the property, but they had to be a slave. They had to be a slave for 40 years in order for them to even enjoy the home. And then now they're living off of Social Security, and the Social Security is now getting threatened. So boomers are anyone that was born. It was during, think after, it was after World War II. Okay, so the baby boomer generation is generally defined as people born between 1946 and 1964. Yep, anyone between 1946 and 1964. That's what it says. That's what it says on Google. I am so happy that I didn't have a boomer parent. To any people that have a boomer parent, y'all are the world's strongest soldiers. Also, speaking of parents, do not forget, if you all are interested in my spiritual channel, go to the community tab. I have it linked, but I'll also add the link in the description here. You can find me there at The Mystic Sovereign. I will be doing a video tomorrow talking about the pre-soul contract and how your soul chose your parents and why your soul chose your parents. So if that's something that you're interested in learning about, or if you're interested in learning into more things that deal with the spiritual realm, esoteric teachings, the occult, and things like that, go on ahead and follow me at the Mystic Sovereign. And like I said, the link is go to the community tab. The link is there. I already posted it in the community tab today. So I'll be making that video tomorrow. I'll be doing a live stream on that video tomorrow because it's very, very interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. Boomers still get everything handed to them, and they wind up with 45% of them not having any kind of retirement. Listen, that was one thing I noticed, and that because so when I worked in X-ray first, everyone that I worked with was around the same age as me. Okay, I didn't work with a whole lot of boomers, and the very few boomers that I did work with when I did X-ray first, they weren't really all that problematic. And I think it's just because they were so outnumbered. And like, let's be real, there are places that you work at and the bosses will be ageist. They will be ageist because like that's the thing too. When you've been working at the same facility at the same time, you already are earning a lot of money. And so I kind of felt as though those few boomers didn't want to rock the boat because they didn't want to get replaced by new graduates where they could like they could pay them less money. So it wasn't until I got my job in ultrasound, there was a tech that I worked with, and I remember her talking about like she would have to dump her whole entire paycheck into retirement because she waited until the last minute to pay attention to these things. And it's like, well, yeah, no shit. Like the government isn't going to teach you this stuff. You're not getting any financial literacy on, how much it is you should contribute, when you should start contributing. And she was like over here dumping everything. Like she was panicking at the very, very last minute, rushing to build up her retirement, her savings, her investments, all those things because she didn't do it early. She didn't do it early on. I'm not doing that. Okay. I'm not doing that. My grandma is silent generation, much more down to earth. Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. Love my boomer mom. She was not a typical boomer. She was an Aquarius, a fun, progressive person, which was a perfect fit for me. My grandma is a boomer. I love my grandma so, so much. My grandma is a Libra. Okay. She is. She's a Libra. My grandma's chill. Okay. She's super, super chill. Doesn't really give me any pushback on anything at all. My grandma's super, super cool. Boomer parent haver. My dad got caught up in a WhatsApp crypto scam, losing $300,000, and I ended up helping him to bail him out to a tune of $200,000. Whew. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. That's horrible. Boomers are so funny when they talk about working one place their whole life. Look at what Dodge is doing and ask how. Exactly. Exactly. And that's the thing about it. Like that's the thing about it. They they had everything handed to them, and it's gonna now like the I'm sorry, but like now the tides are turning. You know what I mean? The current administration, they're trying to make it where you can't live off the government. You cannot, they're gonna make it where you cannot live off the government. I was born in 1994 and I had two boomer parents, trash, LMAO. Yeah, are you kidding me? Like my grandma will like she knows like all like the rap songs. Like she my grandmother is like super into tech. Like I remember when I was younger and like she had got the first MacBook ever, when it was like she had the very like first MacBook when it was gray. And then I remember she had got the MacBook when they came in different colors and it had like the big back and things like that. My grandmother's like very multifaceted, so she knows how she not so much anymore. Her vision, she kind of lost her vision over time, but my grandma knows how to sew. So she had sewn my mom's prom dresses. She had sewn my dresses for dances and things like that. My grandma, like, she can garden. She can do all types of like home improvements and things like that. Pretty much my mother's side of the family, they are very like pragmatic and very dutiful. Like the women in my family, they know how to do flooring. They know how to do all types of maintenance and upkeep in their home and things like that. Like I said, on my mom's side, I come from a very maternal, strong family. They know how to do everything. Boomer parents had it hard because they were making it through the crack epidemic in their 20s and 30s. Oh, 100%. And much more higher rate of crime, a much, much higher rate of crime than what we're currently seeing. Um, Okay, so in the chat, what's one limiting belief that you're leaving behind today? What's one limiting belief that you are going to get rid of? Okay? Are you going to get rid of fear? Are you going to get rid of self-doubt? Are you going to get rid of having a scarcity mindset? What self-limiting belief do you have surrounding yourself and your goals that you no longer want to think about, that you no longer want to believe? Good night, Abundantia. I'm a Cancer, and I think that's why I love your energy. Oh, thank you. I love Cancers. Procrastination, leaving behind being in my head, overthinking, procrastination, pity. Overthinking is a big one. Girl, I'm dumping all that doesn't serve me. Yes, I love that. To experience things without the need of having others with me. Procrastination. Yes, that's important. Leave behind a lack mindset. Love that. I'm in Ireland and I'm still up. All of the above plus putting myself first, reading the Superwoman cape. Yes, that's so important. So important. Following the rules, it's got me nowhere. That's a big one. That's a big one. Worry. I fell asleep to last night's live. Thanks for staying up. Those are all really good ones. Those are all really good ones. Living in the past. These are really really good ones. I feel as though these are like very common things that we struggle with. Jessica, you're fine. I appreciate y'all for even watching to begin with. It's perfectionism for me. I always wonder how I can do things without making mistakes. That's what's holding me back. I used to have a real bad relationship with perfectionism. So I totally resonate with that. Could you do a segment on time management with a hectic schedule? Yes, I can. I second the superwoman saving everyone thing for sure. I rewatched her live yesterday at work. Oh, thank you. But yeah, I definitely can discuss time management for sure. You really be teaching us and opening eyes. Aw, thank you. Yeah, that's why I'm here. I want women to have I want women to have great lives. Like, I really do want women to have great lives because the women in my life did everything possible for me to cultivate a great life. Like, they really all worked together to pour into me and, really teach me what it is that I needed to teach. And I just know that, like, my purpose is to pass that knowledge off onto other women. You know what I mean? To kind of like be a motherly figure, or to, have like that nurturing spirit of helping other women. Yes, I'm ADHD. I'm trying to cut back on the medical meth. Girl, yes. I know for sure I'm ADHD, but one thing I could never do is like hop on anything. Never. I never wanted to have any pharmaceutical reliance. I do feel as though any woman that has been prescribed anything, any ADHD medication, any antidepressants and things like that. So believe it or not, my best friend, she was diagnosed with BPD. She was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. And I remember telling her, I was like, girl, you don't have bipolar disorder. You do not have bipolar disorder. Because once she started telling me more about her life and her trauma and things like that, I was like, you don't have any mental illness. You are responding to the things that were done to you. And I highly suggest any women that have any issues with mental health, any trauma, whether you're going through like a CPTSD or anything like that, I really encourage you to read the Body Keeps the Score. It's a bit of a hard read. It's a bit of a hard read, but that book really sheds a light on how they take advantage in medicine, how they take advantage of your symptoms without treating the root cause of your symptoms and using that as a way to put you on prescription medication. So like for example, they would use like young children. So, for instance, like it would be kids, young kids in a classroom, and it would be a disruptive child in the classroom. And what they would do is they would have that disruptive child go see a therapist, and then what would happen is they would make up all of these fake diagnoses, like these just ridiculous diagnoses that were symptom based. You know what I mean? So like erratic behavior disorder, just making up like anything based off the symptom. And so the author of the book, when he actually would like talk to these children and get deeper into their stories, these children were being SA'd, these children were being abused, these children were going to very, very um just very toxic home environments. And so what was happening was that because that was happening, what they were displaying at school was a symptom of that happening. And so they would go on ahead and diagnose these children and then put these children on all of these medications. And then pretty much what happens is that you're not fixing the root cause. Like you're not nipping it in the bud for the things that are happening in their home to be addressed. And so it took for me to read that book for me to empathize for me to empathize with my best friend and kind of look a little bit deeper into like the whole BPD thing. And then eventually she got off of her medication and like she's been fine ever since. I'm not a licensed medical professional when it comes to psychology or psychiatry. If you need your meds, take your goddamn meds, okay? Please just take them. But I do feel as though it's always worth questioning. That's just the biggest thing. It's always worth questioning. Do I need these, and can I actually have a life where I don't need them? That's the biggest thing. I go to traditional Chinese medicine doctor and do acupuncture and Chinese herbs. I refuse to only see a Western medicine doctor. Yes. Yes, oppositional defiant disorder, a child being a brat. Yep. Sonia, has your meds caused any other issues while helping with ADHD? I think it's what they put in our food. Oh, 100%. Come on, there's birth control in the water. They're pumping up all of the animals with hormones. And at this point, I feel like something with ADHD, if you use a phone daily, and if you're on an app daily, in most cases, you have ADHD. I mean, our attention span is so freaking short. And so what I like to do, like when I'm scrolling on TikTok, I'm still impatient, so I still will watch videos on time too. Like I know I make long form content. So if I watched my own content, I would be watching it on time too. I'm just going to keep it real with you. However, I will always test myself and make sure that like I put my hands down and I just like try to like sit the phone up like this and then just like watch the video and like get through the whole video. So I will test myself. And also, I also try to facilitate that through reading. So what I'll do is I'll set a timer on my phone and you can start off small. So you can start off at 5 minutes and read 5 minutes, no distraction, and then build it up to 10 minutes, no distraction, 15 minutes, no distraction, and build up those, muscles, that your neural circuits in your brain to kind of help expand your attention span. Because at this point, we all have ADHD. We all have ADHD at this point. Yeah, dopamine detox. I haven't done one in a while. I haven't done one in a while. But dopamine detoxes are really, really important. Like taking 30 days away from social media, cold showers a couple times a week. Yeah, reducing, like cutting out sugar, cutting out alcohol, any type of dopamine fix that you have, you can like give it up for 30 days. Just one, and you can give it up for 30 days. Dopamine is, dopamine is something. We're really, really dopamine addicted because the food dopamine spike, our phone dopamine spike. I mean, we're getting dopamine hits from all over the place, and it's just to the point where we're numb. We are numb. My ADHD caused me to lose my job. The meds helped me to focus and calm me. Oh yeah, so then obviously you need them. Like I said before, if anything is making you get to the point where you can't have any stability in your life, you just cannot function, then yeah, of course, in most cases, you are going to need some type of help, when it comes to some type of medicine. Because like for instance, birth control. I don't take birth control. Because I've been warranted and I've been blessed with having a, knock on wood, a hormonal system that is regulated. I have a regular period and things like that. But there are women that have to go on birth control. They have endometriosis. They have all types of issues where they have to take birth control. They feel a lot better and it's good for them. So we aren't a monolith. We aren't a monolith. However, I still feel as though the pharmaceutical industry really does oversell the amount of people that they're putting on prescription medications. It doesn't need to be that many people. That's just my honest opinion. We were never meant to be overloaded with this much information at once constantly. We all have ADHD. Exactly. I'm going to sleep. Thank you so much for the advice on leveling up. Oh, for sure. I hired a trainer, best dough ever spent. Yes, 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 yes. All right, let me go. All right, so step 3. I mean, y'all led me. See, I love this because y'all lead me right into my next talking point. I love it. So step 3 with leveling up, detox everything holding you back. Before you build, you have to clear out the trash. You have to dump everything out that is not serving you. So you have to detox yourself of people, okay? You cannot hang out with people that are negative. You cannot hang out with people that want to keep you stagnant. You don't want to hang out with envious people. Like, come on, you want the summertime to get here and like your body is tea. You started your business, and you mean to tell me by summer you're going to have your girlfriends being like, oh, you think you're better than everybody else now because you're smaller, um, making like little backhand compliments about like how you look in your swimsuit, making comments about your business. Oh, well, how's your little business going? No one has time for that shit. No one has time for that shit. Whenever you're met with backhanded compliments, whenever you're met with people saying that, oh, well, I miss the old you and you don't have time for anybody, anyone that is taking your personal life changes personally, they don't need to be in your life, okay? Because all they're going to do is cause resistance in your life. I pay very, very close attention to how people respond to me when I am leveling up, especially if you are in a predicament where you have a friendship where your friend already feels superior to you. That's how you know. Because the thing about it is that a lot of women, especially when it comes to female dynamics, a lot of us we'll be friends with women who are in secret competition with us, and we won't know. And a lot of the time, you won't know until you level up, until you improve your life. And then that's when you really see, oh wow, they were never my friend. And it's because they thought that they were more superior than you. And so once you put yourself in a predicament where now they feel like you've leveled the playing field, or now they feel as though you're superior to them, they're going to try to do things to try to knock you down. And this is why it's very, very important to only have friendships with your friends and with your family where they don't think in hierarchies, okay? They don't have an inferiority complex. That's very dangerous. That's very, very dangerous, because people that have an inferiority complex, one of the main thing that they're going to do is try to bring you down and tear you down so that way they can be superior to you. It's the same thing that men do. Women do it as well. Literally every Leo woman I met. I can't believe it, because Leos want to be the star of the show. Leos are ruled by the sun. They want to shine bright. They want to be the star of the show. They want to be number one. Dang, just detox from a dusty today, and stagnant was the word of the day. Yep, Leo sun. Yep. So that makes perfect sense, because they wanna run the show. Drugs and alcohol are an addiction. Screen time is an addiction. Even love, male validation can be an addiction. They say that when you break up with someone, they say based off of your dopamine and your serotonin, all of that chemistry, the hormone chemistry, when you have a breakup, your brain chemistry, it actually responds the same way as it would if you were detoxing from a drug. It's the same thing. Like, love is legitimately a drug. It's a dopamine spike. LOL, the trash was people. Men, we have too much information at once. Our brains were not built for technology overload. Oh my God, 100%. And I'm a Gemini moon. I'm a Gemini moon in Western and Vedic astrology. Do you know how goddamn hard it is for me to try to keep my vision, tunnel vision, and like keep a line of sight with what it is that I'm going to do? It is so hard, because Gemini placements, we are multitaskers. We want to do everything. So I have to talk to myself constantly and remind myself, like, no, like, this is what you're going to do next, and you can't do the next thing until you complete this thing. Oh wow, you're a Leo moon. Okay. Yes, even when I'm not trying to compete with them for attention, there's still competition. Yeah. Yeah. It's too much. It's too much. And it's so weird, because you will think that the friendship will be going great. You will think that there will be no static in the friendship, and then all of a sudden it's like they now have this strange animosity toward you, and it's like, okay, what was the sudden change? And it's like, well, really, they're on their end, there actually was no sudden change. This is how they've always felt. It's just now you've given them a reason to vocalize it and to show you. That's always what it's about. They never liked you in the first place. You've just given them a reason to now say, oh, well, this is why I don't like you. Search for whole signs. Wow, that makes sense. What's the moon in astrology? Jessica could tell you. I never understood the twin flame thing when it was toxic. I'm going to talk about all of that. Twin flames, soulmates, all those things. I'm going to talk about all of that on the spiritual channel. Do you have any suggestions on how to get a natal star chart? All you have to do is go into Google and type in birth chart, like natal birth chart, and go and you have to know your birthday, you have to know your birth time, and you have to know your birth location. Did anyone ever watch that documentary regarding twin flames, and those people conned all of those believers in twin flames, and they conned them all and tried to, like, pretty much they were encouraging harassment. So, like, it would be women who, like, their boyfriend broke up with them, and then these scamming people were talking about twin flames, and they're like, oh no, like, he broke up with you, but that's your twin flame, like, that's who you're supposed to be with. And they were literally telling people and taking their money to go on ahead and harass. She was harassing her boyfriend. She found out the club that her boyfriend was going to, followed him. He called the goddamn police on her. Call the police on her. So actually, soulmates 100% exist. It's just soulmate is not heterosexual. That's the issue. You do have a soul group of people when in the spirit realm. You have a soul team in the spirit realm. You do. Sheer says to avoid water sign men because they're too feminine. Do you believe that? Uh, I mean, yeah, to a certain extent. A lot of that is really a lot of that is really based on other placements too. Like, that's the thing too. It's a lot more deeper. It's a lot more deeper than that. It's a friend, a family member, tribe. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. A soulmate. Yep, it's going to be a friend, a family member. You soulmates 100% exist. It's just you're always sold as it being heterosexual and it being a man. It doesn't have to be a man. A strong mother wound as well. Yes, you have to love yourself first. Don't go near Pisces or Cancer men. And I've mentioned this on the channel before. I attract Cancer men the most, okay? And I think it's because I have so many strong Capricorn placements, and Cancer is my opposing sign. I'm hardened, okay? I don't like showing my emotions. Emotions are very weak to me. And Cancer men, Pisces men are very dreamy, like fantasy. Cancer men are very emotional and things like that. So I tend to attract I've had one of my exes was Pisces. My dad's a Pisces. And he tries to, like, cover it up, that he tries to cover up his emotions. My dad is emotional as hell. Let me come into town. I came into town one time. I had a horrible, horrible experience with the car that I rented out, and I was only going to be home for I was barely going to be home for 48 hours. Had an issue with the rental, couldn't get around like I wanted to get around. And my dad called me, and I already was back in New York City, and he was like, did I miss you? He was pissed. That makes so much sense. My aunt is the closest person to me in my life, and she passed when I was 11. I don't think a man could replicate the familial love that we had with each other. Yeah, in most cases, that was probably your soulmate. It doesn't have to be heterosexual to be a soulmate. Oh my God, I started talking to a Pisces. I love Pisces women, but the man is so passive but super nice. I can tell he struggles to communicate with me. I'm a super strong, crazy Aries, fire and water don't mix. No. Mm-mm. Nope. Oh yeah, thank God Scorpio men don't talk to me. Hallelujah. I couldn't do it. Okay, we already talked about it, but social media detox. So You can do this in multiple forms. You can keep your social media and you can refine what it is that you're following. So, especially like, I don't like Instagram. I hate Instagram so much because Instagram, they just sell an aesthetic. They sell luxury. Like they want you to change your body. They want you to hate yourself. They want you to think you're poor. They want you to think you have no life. So you could either get rid of the social media platform altogether, or you can curate your social media to look the way that you want it to look. So if you want motivation, if you want something inspiring, then unfollow anything that is not motivational, inspiring, or realistic. Delete all of that and then go on ahead and start, retraining your algorithm to feed you things that make you feel good about yourself, that are realistic. Like I feel like women that follow IG models and the women that got all that work done, I feel as though that's extremely detrimental. I feel as though that's very harmful. I feel as though that's why there was like like a big spike in surgery. Because at one point I did want surgery, and I still kind of go back and forth with the idea, which is most likely why I'm not going to get it because I don't stand firm in my decision. However, and also it's because I'm back in the gym and my body is like slowly starting to like carve itself back out. Like my ass is like getting plump again, and my waist is like getting back snatched. So that's another thing that's kind of like, oh, okay, I'm actually cool. I don't need to go under no table. But yeah, it's because that's all you're seeing on your feed. Like all you're seeing on Instagram is women with their body done. So yeah, and then the next thing is emotional detox, letting go of the past. That is so important. Your past will shackle you. Literally, your past will shackle you if you do not let it go. Anxiety stems, so you have anxiety and depression. Depression, you should if you want to know more about this, a good book recommendation I have for you, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. He talks about this in that book. That The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, phenomenal book. Very, very good book. But he says that depression stems from holding on to the past. Anxiety stems from being worried about the future. Okay. Most people that are suffering from depression, it's usually due to the inability to let go of things that happened in the past. Okay. Toxic exes, trauma, regret, failure, poor decision making. You have to let that go. You can't go back and undo it. You can't go back and undo it. All you're doing is holding on to stored trauma. So you have to take that trauma out and do something with it. You have to do something with that trauma. This is the reason why. This is the harsh reality too, like, and you can visually see it. This is why the arts, we don't have an appreciation for the arts. The music sucks. Okay. Things like museums and things like that, they have it very overpriced. They don't push these things anymore. They don't push art. And the reason being is because people run to social media now to get a dopamine fix instead of using a form of alchemy. And then also, not to mention, everyone's fucking broke. Everyone's fucking broke. No one has enough time to alchemize their pain, their hurt, and things like that. People don't have enough time to actually like use that and put it toward like an actual passion. It requires a lot of discipline and a lot of time to alchemize that energy. But the reason why back in like, I mean, come on, 50s, 60s, 70s, things like that, art was such a profound thing is because art usually comes from like a place of pain. It usually comes from a past situation and things like that. Music, it usually the best type of music is due to the singer going through something. They've alchemized what their situation was, and they've put it through their music. Yep, anxiety is worrying about the future. Yep, I'm seeing Eckhart Tolle live. He's on tour this year. Wow, that's amazing. It's so expensive to go to a concert now. I'm telling you, like these Beyonce tickets, what the F? Surgery on what? I just wanted my booty. I just wanted my booty a little bit bigger, but it's plump again now. It's plump again now. So I was like, girl, what were you thinking? You're tripping. Gemini men are good at yapping. They love to talk and talk. Gemini is the ruler of communication. Gemini is the ruler of communication. They gonna talk. Oh my God, maybe my soulmate is my grandma. We have the same name and understand each other so well. Yeah, that's not a coincidence. That's not a coincidence. My cousin, my best friend is for sure my soulmate. Like, she's for sure my soulmate. My cousin is a lot younger than I am, but she was born on my birthday and she clung to me. Like, she clung to me immediately. And like, I can already feel now that she's a little bit older and now that I'm not working a 9 to 5 anymore, I really do feel like an energetic pull. Like, it's like the strongest it's ever been. I feel a very energetic, strong pull to my cousin. And I feel like it was no coincidence that she was born on my birthday. Oh, you're getting it mixed up because of the water bear. It happens. Oh, snap. Aquarius is air sign. Yay. Even better than air and fire. Great. Modern art destroyed art. 100%. 100%. Oh my God, I felt that I had to let go of the past, but it's crazy how I went through all the emotions because I realized how much I wasn't allowing myself to feel or was always on my toes. That's the biggest thing is letting go of the past. The reason why it's very difficult for people to let go of the past is because it's uncomfortable, because you have to replay scenarios that happen that are painful, that will stir up anger, that will stir up very uncomfortable emotions in you. And the number one thing everyone is running away from is their emotions. Okay. That's the number one thing everyone is running from. When you are a person who, like, when you're in a space where it's like you want to cry, like you know that you want to cry, but like you can't get yourself to cry about a situation, you're still holding on to something. You're still holding on to something. Your parents' poor decision making that negatively affects your life. Yes. This is crazy. So, you're not the only person that talked about Marilyn Monroe and compared me to Marilyn Monroe. I've actually had a few people on TikTok actually tell me that I like resemble Marilyn Monroe to a certain extent. And I remember one time on live, someone had said that I resembled Britney Spears, and a lot of people compare Marilyn Monroe to Britney Spears. But you're definitely not the first person that has mentioned that. And I love Marilyn Monroe. I just hate how dirty they did her. Yep, the reason why art is not being pushed is because it represents the feminine. That's why they always cut art and music programs. Patriarchy doesn't see the benefit of creativity. Not at all. You are 100% right. Men are not creative. The masculine is not creative. You do. I don't know what it is. Marilyn was very sweet and super smart. She had her own production company. Yes. I'm the one who said you look like Britney Spears. Aw, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. See, I remember. I remember what you guys tell me for sure. Jesus, I never stopped crying. It was so annoying. Waterworks. But I feel like crying is very purgatory. It is. Crying is very purgatory. You're purging all of that hurt, you're purging all of that anger, you're purging all of that negative energy that you're storing. Marilyn read voraciously. Now I have to look more into her. Eckhart Tolle is going on tour this year, going to see him live. Oh, yeah, I read that earlier. Yes, Queen, you definitely have goddess energy. Aw, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So I told you guys step 3 for leveling up. And so now step 4 is to create a level up routine. So you got about 3, 4 months to get to where it is that you want to for the summer. Okay. So you already know what your goal is, weight loss or business ownership or things like that. And so the biggest thing is that you have to determine your daily habits. Okay. If you want to lose weight, what are you going to do daily to lose weight? Okay. Are you going to go to work and then go to the gym after work? Okay. The easiest way for you to not fail, bring your workout clothes with you to work, change at work when you're off, and then go straight to the gym after work. Because if you come home after work, you're home, okay? And if you had a bad day at work, you ain't gonna the last especially you just started your routine, the last thing you're gonna want to do is go to the gym after you had a long, hard, bad day at work. Bring your clothes with you, put them on, go to the gym immediately after, okay? If you are trying to start you're trying to start your business ownership, your daily routine, you should be looking into some type of research, you know what I mean? What type of business that it is that you want to do, and start looking it up. Chat GPT ChatGPT is like the best thing ever. Okay. You can literally ask ChatGPT, I want to start a business selling digital marketing products. What do I need to do this? She's gonna tell you, oh, you need to get Canva. You need to create a website, or I don't know, drop shipping, or you want to sell courses or anything like that. ChatGPT will tell you everything it is that you need to know. We are very, very lucky in this generation. Business ownership is easier than ever now. Okay. Imagine being your age 40 years ago. You would have had to take out a loan, get a brick and mortar, pay for advertisement, billboard advertising, radio advertising, word of mouth, posters. Like, think of all of the work that you would have to do if you were in this predicament. Back then, it would take people up to 10 years to build their business. Now, it's taking people on average 2 to 3 years to like see a strong investment on their business. It is easier than ever to create a business. That's the reason why the panini happened. That was one of the reasons why the panini happened. The government saw that people were catching on to how easy it was to become an entrepreneur, how easy it was to generate revenue with your own business. That's the reason why when they shut everything down, guess what I noticed that immediately. I was like, how are you going to separate essential and non-essential? And then the only stores that you're keeping open are these large corporations, but you're closing all the mom and pops. You're closing all of the local people because they understand that people were like, oh shit, like I actually can be an entrepreneur. I actually have the resources to be an entrepreneur. Even if you have a restaurant, a brick and mortar restaurant, you can hire a marketing media manager, and they can create a whole page to show off your food, show off the menu, do all types of aesthetics, and then get influencers. You could pay influencers to come try your food out and document your food and review it. Easier than ever. And the government did not like that. The government did not like that because the government does not want you to be self-sustaining. The government wants you to be reliant on them. Oh, nice. You have the same birthday as Marilyn Monroe. That's cool. Because she was beautiful and charismatic. She was too powerful for men, so they broke her down. It was the 50s, so they were successful. F them. I know. And you want to know what's so sick? Hugh Hefner exploited the fuck out of Marilyn Monroe, and literally he got buried right next to her. He got buried right next to her. Like, even in her own death, she still cannot get away from the man that exploited her. You are an old soul. I think so too. I think so too. Named after Nina Simone and scarily resemble her too. Wow. The best thing ever. I'm on ChatGPT as we speak. I love ChatGPT. You look beautiful. Love the hair. Thank you. I can't stand people complaining. Shut the hell up and be proactive. Oh, shut down business, slow the economy down. Uh huh. Now they are attempting to take it all away. Yeah, that's what they do. They will take what you build, take what you build for yourself, have you reliant on them, and then they'll take that away. They'll take that away. Like they are really trying to weed out people. They're really trying to weed out people, and that's why now, like more than ever, you cannot buy into overconsumption. You cannot buy into trying to keep up with the Joneses. You cannot buy into trying to like keep up with a certain type of lifestyle to flex on the internet and things like that. These are times now where you have to really budget, get your finances together, get an exit strategy, because uh, they're clearly pulling out all the stops here, clearly pulling them all out. The billionaire class has been waging class warfare against us working class for a long time. After the panini, they put it on overdrive. Yeah. Like it was no coincidence that during the panini going into the stock market, they knew exactly like what stocks to like short, pull out, buy into. They knew exactly what was going on. Beyonce wants those income check. Girl, I looked at those concert ticket prices and I was like, "Oh my goodness." I was like, "Beyonce is not playing. She is getting this money, child." He did so disgusting. I don't know Hugh Hefner's sign. Yeah, he sold those pictures. Do you think Britney Spears had a curse on her, or was it karma with her on the Shar J thing? I don't know. I don't know what the Shar J thing is, but like I personally think Britney Spears is cloned. That's not the real Britney Spears. There's no way that there's no way that that's the real Britney Spears. What my theory is with Britney Spears is I think that Britney Spears unalived herself. That's what I think. I think Britney Spears got tired of being the family cash cow. I think Britney Spears got tired of being exploited. And I think that Britney Spears unalived herself and they cloned her to keep milking money off of her. That's what I think. Because the voice isn't the same, the teeth aren't the same, the eyes aren't the same. There's not a single similarity. There's not a single similarity to Britney Spears, like currently. Like, yes, people can change, people can age and things like that, but your teeth aren't going to change like that. And like even when you look at videos, like there's a filter. It looks like they're putting like a filter on her because you can watch videos and like the filter comes off. It comes off. Her voice, she sounds like she has an English accent. Um, yeah, I just don't think it's the same person. I just feel like it's still Britney, but the Illuminati somehow figured out how to change her mind and make her complacent. I can see that too. Oh, Kevin Federline and Shar Jackson on Moesha. I believe that too. She looks and acts different. All I know is that Kevin Federline was with Shar Jackson, but I probably heard of like the drama or anything else, but I can't remember. Oh, okay. Brittany started dealing with K-Fed, her ex, when his ex, Shar J, was pregnant. Okay, now I do remember that. Her grandmother is English descent, which is cool, but I mean, come on. She's never had an accent. Never had an accent before. It's not Beyonce, y'all. It's Ticketmaster inflating the prices and resale. Yeah, I believe that. Tickets were only around 130 the first day they were released. I believe that. They routinely price gouge now. There are no laws to protect us. In the 80s and 90s, they removed it. That's crazy. I'm telling you, once that damn Ronald Reagan went into office, it ruined the country. Once Ronald Reagan went into office, it ruined the country. They put Britney in a conservatorship, but MJ and Kanye were free the whole time. You ever notice? So I did actually look this up because I was very curious to see. I was very curious to see if they do this more to women or to men, because I always felt like I was only hearing about women being in conservatorship as opposed to men. There are men that they do put into conservatorships. They are. I just think the women are a lot easier to control. So I feel like for men, they have handlers. I do. I feel as though they have handlers for the male celebrities who don't want to conform. But for the women, I feel as though like they legit like put them in mental health institutions. They chain them up. Like, look at Wendy Williams. Like, yep, think about, have y'all heard the interview that Wendy Williams did on the phone? The woman doesn't have dementia. The woman doesn't have dementia. I don't even like Charlemagne the God at all, but I mean, Charlemagne the God literally was like, I talked to Wendy Williams and she could do radio tomorrow if she wanted to. It was that damn Diddy. That's who it was. It was that damn Diddy. I think the people on that show Friends, they did a sacrifice on that guy. Probably. They're always doing shit like that. Reagan was put in to dismantle the country and turn the banks into casinos. 100%. Like Ronald Reagan is the worst thing that ever happened to the United States of America. The worst thing that ever happened to the United States of America. Diddy is a Freemason. I believe it. Agreed. Wendy sounded so lucid on that interview. That's funny considering Reagan and his wife Nancy were into some Hollywood occult stuff. Yeah, I'm telling you, Ronald Reagan is a terrible person. A terrible person. But yeah, I feel like a lot of this stuff happening with Wendy Williams, I feel like for me, I just don't feel like I don't feel like it's a coincidence that as soon as like the veil got lifted with Diddy, they started like trying to silence her more and more. And like she has a really, really, really bad history with P. Diddy, like a really bad history with P. Diddy. Like P. Diddy got her fired. P. Diddy got her fired when she first like got on the radio, first of all. Um she talks about like P. Diddy like allegedly like having her set up to get like beat up and things like that by the group Total. P. Diddy has like been on he has been on Wendy Williams' ass because Wendy Williams has been saying from the beginning of time, like questioning his sexuality, um, stating that he is a harmful person. She's been saying this stuff. What kind of ritual is that when they had a lot of celebrity man dressed up like women? It's a humiliation ritual. It's a humiliation ritual. It was that damn particle accelerator. Reagan became the governor of California in 1968. Reagan was at Bohemian Grove. Look it up. Oh wow. You know who also told the truth was Courtney Love about all the predators. They pretended she was crazy. I swear that's the first thing that they do. She's crazy. She's crazy. She's crazy to like to reduce your validity. Okay, so I already said what you have to do. Sorry, I veer off so much. Okay, so for your morning routine, I already said what you have to do for that. Your night routine. Um, I'm a night owl, okay? I like staying up very, very late. Um, I like having a night routine to like reflect, to plan, to stay aligned. So I like to journal about like how my day went, how I'm feeling. Did I accomplish all the goals that I wanted to accomplish for that day? Um, I try to like I always tell myself like win the day, like only focus on what you're doing for 24 hours. It's just for me it's easier that way. And so I would recommend that. just do the best you can with the 24 hours, like with what you have for the day ahead of you. And if you're consistent and you do that repeatedly, you'll be successful. You won't have any issue. Your eye makeup is so pretty. What is your nighttime face routine? Okay, so when I get done with live, obviously I use like coconut oil and makeup wipes to take off my makeup, and then I double cleanse. So I cleanse twice and I make sure that I wash my face for, excuse me, 60 seconds. So I do 60 seconds each time because I want to make sure all of the makeup is off of me, okay? I do use tretinoin at night. Use tretinoin at night. I do have some hyperpigmentation, so, like, I do have, like, a little scar here, and I got, like, some scarring there. Um, so I'll use, like, niacinamide. I'll just spot treat, like, niacinamide. I also have niacinamide patches too. Um, and I will, like, put it, like, all over my face, but I'll give a little bit more love to the hyperpigmentation areas. And then I use rock. I use the retinol for like my under eye and then like my side eye area. And I also use the tretinoin on my neck too because I don't want my neck to be saggy. I don't want my neck to be saggy. No, I'm not using benzoyl peroxide. And the reason why I don't use benzoyl peroxide is because my skin is really, really, really sensitive to benzoyl peroxide. Really, really sensitive to benzoyl peroxide. Um, so I don't use it. My skin doesn't do very well with it. Even with the tretinoin. I can only use the tretinoin like if I'm lucky every other day, but usually I have to use it every 2 days because yes, it dries the fuck out of my skin. Um Even when I moisturize, it dries the fuck out of my skin and it'll get to the point where it will even um it will even cause further hyperpigmentation because it will like slaw off my skin like to the point where it's almost raw because my skin is so it will get so dry. I recommend skin cuticles, glycolic recovery, cleanse it with pyric acid. Okay, I'm gonna copy this. Try using glycolic acid on scars and underarms and elbows. It's a godsend. Okay. I do use a toner. I skipped that step. So I do use the AHA BHA toner at night. I do use that at night as well. I almost forgot. It's like the green one. Okay, cool. Okay, yeah, you guys both said glycolic acid, so I am definitely going to use that. I love benzoyl peroxide panoxyl, but you're right, it's hella strong. I have to rinse it twice with a different face cleanser. You know what? I lied. I do use glycolic acid, but the glycolic acid is in my it's in my body scrub. It is. It's in my body scrub. I have a body scrub that has glycolic acid and niacinamide in it. Yep, and I used to use the ordinary AHA BHA. I used to use that, the one in the red bottle, right? The foundation of change is not being hard on yourself. Think about it like this: dogs don't learn new tricks by being beaten and berated. It takes patience and respect for yourself. 100%. 100%. Do you have any accountability partners to keep you on track with meeting certain goals? They say it's good to not tell people what you are doing so they don't use witchcraft to sabotage you. I personally don't have any accountability partners. I don't have any accountability partners, but I have a lot of Capricorn placements, okay? I'm very much ruled by Saturn. So I'm already like naturally a disciplinarian. I am. There's only I mean, I don't tell everybody. I don't tell anybody everything about me as far as like what my next move is, what I plan to do and things like that. Um I just think it's important to check in with yourself. It's very important to check in with yourself. I am working on designing a planner, and in the planner, I plan to have like a habit tracker section. So you will like you'll write habits that you're trying to maintain, and then every week, well, every day, you'll like check off the habit. So like for instance, like drank 60 hours of water today, and then you check that off. Got 10,000 steps today. You check that off. Um, you have to be, excuse me, you have to be your own accountability partner. That's kind of how I look at it. Um, because you have to think of it like this. You should only have an accountability partner if you hire someone, like if you hire a coach. So like a personal trainer is an accountability, that's an accountability partner. Um a life coach mentor, that's an accountability partner. So that is only something that someone should be paid for to be in your life to hold you accountable. I would never use it for free. Do you use red light? Avoid red light. So many studies show that red light are not powerful enough. Buy a Hogo panel. Those red lights help so much with anti-aging, muscle recovery. I don't use red light. I do use a high frequency wand though. I'm a Capricorn sun and Mars in Capricorn. Oh my gosh. Wow. Look at that. That's cool. Oh, I can leave that on overnight? I don't know. The reason why I quit using the ordinary, AHA, BHA, oh my god, I don't know, maybe it's because I was using too many other products, but, like, oh my god, that shit would burn my skin. Like, it wasn't I didn't like using it because they want you to keep it on for, like, 10 minutes or something like that. Oh my god, it would, like, burn. I hated it. It got to the point where I didn't wanna use it anymore. The Korean skincare that I use, the toner, the toner, it is much, I don't even wanna say it's tolerable because I don't feel anything. But it's been years since I've used the ordinary AHA, BHA. It's been years, like, it's probably been 6 years, and that was when my skin was really, really, really acne prone, like, really acne prone. Thank God I grew out of my hormonal acne, because when I tell you guys, oh my God, I was like legit pizza face. Like I had breakouts all over the place. I couldn't go like a day or two without having a breakout. My chest would break out, my back would break out. It would be terrible. And I would do all the things, panoxyl, benzoyl peroxide. I would use the ordinary. I would do everything. And so finally I had went to the dermatologist, and go figure, they wanted me to go on birth control, and so I told my dermatologist, I was like, no. So she had wanted me to do spironolactone, and she wanted me to do birth control, and I was like, I'm not getting on birth control. I was like, I'll take the spironolactone. I took 50 milligrams of that, and that cleared my acne, cleared my breakouts. Now I haven't been taking spironolactone since regularly. I haven't been taking spironolactone since 2023. And I get breakouts here and there, but for the most part, my skin is relatively clear without having to take anything. Yeah, I do probiotics and prebiotics, but it's in my collagen powder. So I have the Oregon collagen powder, and it has prebiotic and probiotic in it. It's inflammatory, cut out dairy and sugar. Exactly. I try to reduce that. I do my best to reduce dairy and sugar. I'm on 100 milligrams spironolactone since Christmas, and it's not really doing anything. You take organic apple cider vinegar? No, but I can start. My skin is strong. I've spent years building it up. I think you are sensitive. Just build it up slowly. Yeah, my skin is sensitive as hell. It's so sensitive. Like like I said, even if I do tretinoin every other day, I could probably go about a week and a half before my skin starts just like getting raw because it's so dry. My skin starts peeling. The only reason, well, you can't see it, but the reason why I am like kind of low key wearing the hat is because all I did was apply tretinoin last night for the first time in like a week, and my skin is already back peeling. It doesn't hurt or anything, but like already like it's starting to peel. My skin is super, super sensitive. Have you done microneedling? No. Do you use a calming cream? How are you with pure aloe vera? My skin does really good with aloe vera. It does. It does. I just buy the plant. I just go to Whole Foods and just buy the whole plant. Aloe vera, that's usually what I use for my like skin relief. Because when I was younger, I actually used to get sunburn. Believe it or not, when I was younger, I actually used to get sunburn. I still eat chocolate, but it's dark chocolate. It is. It's dark chocolate, and I don't eat a whole lot of it. Um and I mean I juice, so I do get, I do get some sugar, from juicing, but also I lift weights. I do. I lift weights. So before I weight lift, I do like to have some form of quick quick carbohydrate. So like I usually will get like those the little Hawaiian rolls. Before I go work out, I have like one Hawaiian roll just so that I can have like a quick supply of glucose, just so I can like lift more and like have a whole lot of energy to sustain in the gym. Bragg's that makes an apple cider vinegar got, yeah, it's the company, it's Bill Gates. It's Bill Gates. Bill Gates bought the Bragg's company. I just use the Target brand. Cause yeah, I think Bill Gates bought the company a year and a half ago. Cause I used to use Bragg's all the time. It's Bill Gates. Yeah, you can look it up. Weightlifting routine. So my the physique that I like, okay, this is just based off of the physique that I like to see in the mirror. I like having more of a dominant lower body, okay? So, pretty much whatever part of your body that you want to improve on the most, you have to have more frequency of those days of weight training. So, mind you, I just got back into the gym about 3 weeks ago. Okay. So I started off with 2 days a week, just weightlifting, no cardio, but just doing 10,000 steps a day, plus 2 days of weightlifting. So I just would do a lower body and an upper body. So the thing about it is that I started off 2 days and then now I'm up to 4 days. So now um, I pretty much divide it where I have, when I do legs, I have 1 day of like compound movement. So I'll do squats, I'll do hip thrusts, and then I'll have like two smaller movements where I'll do like leg extensions, and then I'll also have an exercise for my quadriceps. So when you do like the prone machine, when you kick your leg like to kind of like kick your butt, I will do that too. And then the next day, I'll do deadlifts. I will do Bulgarian split squats. I will use the abductor machine, so the one that goes out, because when I do squats, I do have a lot of activation in my adductor. So the adductor machine is when you bring your legs in together. So in my abductors are definitely built, so I don't really need to like specialize into those. So that's what I like to do for lower body, and then I have 2 upper body days. My back is built, okay? If you all have seen my bodybuilding pictures, my back is built. So just to keep my upper body strong, I like to do body weight exercises. So push up, pull ups, but I do cuz I'm still losing weight. I'm still losing weight, so I don't really have like capped shoulders. You really can't see them anymore. But I do like having a little bit of a capped shoulder. So I do like specializing workouts for my shoulder. And I hit all three parts of my shoulder. So um I will do shoulder presses, I will do lateral raises, and then I will do like reverse Y's like this. So that way I can hit my rear delt. And then I'll also hit a little bit of bis and tries. But for the compound movements, I do all those body weight because I'm not trying to build any mass. I'm not trying to really build any mass up top. Do you eat a lot of meat? Do you meal prep or eat in certain intervals? You look so great. Oh, thank you. So I do eat a decent amount of meat. I just eat enough protein that matches my body weight. Okay. So I weigh about 155 pounds. I try to get about 150 grams of protein a day. I don't count my calories. I don't meal prep because I don't need to, but all I care about is reaching my protein goal. That's all I care about. Because I already know that if I'm reaching my protein goal, I am I'm not gonna overeat. I'm not going to overeat. I'm not gonna eat a whole lot of carbs. I do really well with like high protein, high fat. I usually structure my carbohydrate intake pre-workout, post-workout. After that, not a whole lot of carbohydrates throughout the day. How tall are you? I'm short. I'm only 5'1", but because I have a whole lot of muscle, um, yeah, I'm 5'1". Muscle is more dense than fat, so that's like another thing. If you plan to go to the gym during your level up journey and you are trying to, um, you want to build muscle, don't don't take the scale with a grain of salt. Okay, that's very important. If you are trying to level up your physique and you want to incorporate weightlifting as a part of your level up journey, take the scale with a grain of salt. And the reason being is because you're going to be sore when you're weightlifting, and that's going to cause inflammation in the muscle, and that's going to cause you to retain more water in the muscle. So naturally the scale is going to go up. Okay, when it comes to the scale, do not measure yourself daily, but do not freak out when you're having fluctuations. You're going to have fluctuations, especially if you don't weigh yourself at the same time every day. I personally weigh myself same time every day immediately after I use the bathroom, naked. What I suggest, because there are some people naturally they just have weight fluctuations throughout the day, especially if your hormones, like maybe your like menopause, you're kind of in that limbo with menopause, you know what I mean? Your hormones are going to fluctuate, you're going to have water weight, and then also based off of your cycle, there's times in your cycle where you're going to be holding on to more water than others. So what I suggest people to do is weigh yourself every day, write down what your weight was, and then add them all together, divide them by 7, and then get the average weight for that week. And do that every week. As long as you see a trend of your weekly average weight reducing, then you're on the right path. I mean, do you get most of your protein from meat or vegetable? Meat. I was vegan for 4 years. I was vegan for 4 years. I was vegan from I think I started going vegan when I was 24, and I did that for 4 years. I was vegan from 24 to 28. Have you ever heard of eating according to your blood type? Yes, that's actually how I eat. I majorly eat according to my blood type. My blood type is B positive. So B positive, they want you to eat a lot of red meat, a lot of iron, fruit, vegetable, no chicken. I do still eat chicken though. Only one serving though, because I really like salad, and I really, really like chicken Caesar salad. But I only have one serving. Everything else comes from red meat. Me too, but I'm a pescatarian now because of health reasons. Nothing wrong with that. Do your thing. What types of protein do you eat? Well, I kind of answered it, but steak, ground beef, those are like steak, ground beef, eggs. Um I do have one serving of Greek yogurt. I do have one serving of Greek yogurt. Um and then like I do like a probiotic food. So Greek yogurt is a probiotic food, and then so is kimchi. So I eat kimchi and I eat Greek yogurt daily. And yeah, all those foods are super feeling. Oh damn, that cider will never be the same. No, yeah, Bill Gates bought it. It's tainted. For my blood type, I'm not supposed to have cinnamon, and I literally can't imagine not eating cinnamon. Oh, chow, I would die. I put cinnamon in my coffee. I put cinnamon in my coffee. So it's really funny that we're talking about because that this is actually step 5. Step 5 is upgrading your body, getting your summer body in progress. Um I already pretty much told you guys what to do. Also, use ChatGPT. Use ChatGPT. Say, ChatGPT, I want a smaller waist and I want nice toned legs, or I want a bigger butt. Give me a weightlifting regimen for 3 days a week, and she'll make it for you. But primarily, I especially if you're starting out with your weight loss journey, I'm all about the basics. Okay. Um, Social media has really ruined the fitness industry. And the reason why is because they are suggesting and having you do all of these ridiculous workouts. Okay. And you don't need to do any of those ridiculous workouts. Stick to the bases: lunges, squats, deadlifts, leg extensions. I don't know why I can't remember the name, but the exercise for your hamstrings. I can't freaking remember. Um, Bulgarian squats. Those are the basics. That's all you need for your legs. I'm telling you, hip thrusts. That's all you need for your legs. You don't need to do anything crazy, okay? Once you get to the point where once you get to the point where you can really start picking apart your body by muscle part. So like, maybe you notice that like your quadriceps are more defined than your hamstrings. Okay, then you can start being meticulous in like focusing on your hamstring. But the average person is most likely not going to do that. That's just what we would do in bodybuilding because they're judging you based off of your muscle balances, your muscle density, in the weaker part in your muscles. Um, and like I said, for me, the biggest thing is just start off with your weaknesses, the parts of yourself that you need the most work on. Also, understand that when it comes to weight loss, you cannot spot reduce. Okay, so you can obviously tailor your weight training to prioritize the areas that you want to see improvement in when it comes to you building muscle, but when it comes to you losing fat, you cannot spot reduce. Usually how you lose weight is this way. So when you're on your weight loss journey, the most recent place of weight gain will be the first place to go. And the reason why is because the fat cells just entered your body. So it's easier to kick those out. You know what I'm saying? Like when you have a tenant, you move a tenant in, it's much easier to get them out. They just got there. The areas of fat that you've had for a long time, a very long time, it's like those 10, 15 pounds that you can't get rid of. Yeah, it's because those fat cells have been there for a very long time. Try to get a squatter out of your goddamn house. You're going to have a very hard time getting a squatter out of there. So, be mindful of that. Be very, very mindful of that because in most places, the area where you want to see the weight loss at, and that you're paying attention to, it's been there too long. It's going to be a while before you actually see that part of your body reduce. And then also understand that your fat your fat placement, where you carry fat, a lot of that is genetic, okay? A lot of that is genetic, okay? I am I'm multiracial, okay? I didn't get the genetics where I like carry weight in like my booty, okay? No one in my family, especially on my mom's side, no one really has a butt. And no one really on my dad's side has a butt, okay? My mom, she has love handles. So I ended up inheriting her love handles. So I do store weight like on the back and like in my lower waist. So that, and that's just, that area is the fattest, the longest. So that's the last thing to go are my love handles. It is what it is. Just is what it is. And as a woman, always remember that naturally you are going to store weight into your belly because that's where your reproductive organs are. Okay. Your reproductive organs are around your core. So as a woman, you do need to have fat there. It's going to be harder for you to lose fat there because of homeostasis. Your body is not going to work with you when your reproductive ability will be at risk. So always remember that. What do you think about Pilates? I did Pilates and I loved it. Like, honestly, I really, really loved it. I did Pilates when I was in Athens, Georgia. Um, I do think that Pilates, just based off of the demographic of who goes to Pilates, I also do feel as though it's a great place to network and to like meet new people, have like friends. Like I did meet someone, like I did meet like this girl. She was cool when I did Pilates. But Pilates is good. I love the reformer. So because Pilates has gotten so much hype, there are different types of Pilates. Okay. So you have to decide what type of Pilates you want to do. They have hot Pilates. So hot Pilates, you're doing that in a hot room and you're doing that on a mat. So like there's like certain aspects of Pilates that you're doing on a mat. Then there's the reformer Pilates. That's the Pilates that I do. So it's like a springboard that you're on. It's like an apparatus that you're on, and it's a spring, and there's like different levels of resistance for the spring, and you can do different types of like jumps and movements and stuff like that. And they have like cardio classes on the reformer. They have the sculpting classes on reformer, and then like there's different levels. There's different levels of classes, but I like reformer Pilates. I did hot Pilates. I didn't dislike it, but I like the reformer more because for me, it just gives you more of a unique experience for Pilates, in my opinion. But it's pricey though. It's pricey though. I think I was paying about $170 a month for a reformer Pilates. Can you recommend good basic home equipment and exercises for days we can't get to the gym? Yeah, of course. Some free weights, okay, free weights. I would say I would say 10 pound and 15 pound. I would say 10 pound and 15 pound. I feel because the thing about it is this, right? Whenever you're like trying to like build a muscle, you have to have a mind muscle connection to grow the muscle. That's very important. You have to have a mind muscle connection. So when you're doing a squat, right? You're working several muscles when you're doing the squats. You are working your quadriceps, you are working your hamstrings, you are working your abductors, and you are working your glutes, okay? Based off of what muscle you want to grow while you're doing the squat, that's the muscle that's going to activate the hardest, okay? That's the muscle that's going to fire off the hardest. So like sometimes in bodybuilding, when bodybuilders have injuries, they'll like do the tens machine. They'll connect the person to the tens machine on whatever body part that they want to work on. So that way it'll send an electrical impulse to that body part, that muscle to fire it off. So 10 to 15 pound dumbbells will be enough. You just have to make sure that you're focused on working the muscle that it is that you want to work. But I suggest 10 to 15 pound dumbbells. I suggest a resistance band. I encourage you to get a resistance band. And then I also would advise for you to get, let me show you. So it's a stepper, but it's only like $60 on Amazon. So instead of you buying a big old treadmill, I know some people get those walk pads. You can get a walk pad as well, but those are kind of pricey. Um, hold on. So they sell these on Amazon. They're super cheap, okay? They're super cheap. You can even get this little exercise bike thing. You could literally sit on you could literally sit on your couch while you're watching TV and you can use this exercise thing, or you could stand up in front of the TV and you can use your stepper. And they even come with little resistance bands. So you can also if you want to, you can like be on the stepper and then use the resistance bands, and you can do like bicep curls, or you can do lateral raises, or you can do front raises, or you can do shoulder presses. And then also you can also adjust the resistance. You can also adjust the resistance on those as well to make it more challenging. And then also you get steps in doing that too. So yeah, if I just wanted a cute small little corner at home just to get a workout in, that's what I would have. I would have one of those little steppers, a resistance band like that, and then I would have 10 to 15-pound dumbbells and a mat. All in all, that all together, you're probably going to be spending like $150 probably at the most. They have these Pilates at home boards. I've seen them on TikTok and amazing. One of my friends actually purchased a reformer. She got it off of eBay for like, I want to say like $300, I want to say. But she got an actual reformer to do Pilates at home. Oh my God, yes, those are good. And they have mini ellipticals as well. Yep. No, and I just got sterilized, so I couldn't do anything. Oh, you're probably talking to someone else. Intermittent fasting and caloric deficit plus workout has been helping me lose weight. I want to gain arm strength just to join a pole class. So yeah, so what I suggest you start doing, I suggest you start doing body weight exercises. So I want you to start doing push-ups and I want you to start doing pull-ups. If you cannot do a pull-up with your body weight, what I want you to do is I want you to get one of those long resistant bands. And what you're going to do is I want you to get like a pole, like a horizontal pole, like at the gym, and then you're gonna put a box up so that way you can like step up to grab the pole, and you're gonna loop the resistant band around the pole, and then you're gonna put one foot. You're gonna bear your weight on your foot. Put your foot on the resistant band, and then use that to assist you doing pull-ups, and that will help you greatly. That will build up your upper body strength greatly. I got hurt at work and had to recently have surgery, so I have to wait until I fully recover before I working out. It's okay, girl. It's okay, girl. And to be quite honest, I feel like this. You should hammer down your diet first before anything, in my opinion. I feel like when you're in surgery and things like that, that's like a really good time if you have control over it. I don't know like how like if you're like bedridden or anything like that, but I do feel as though your eating habits are a lot more important than your gym habits, because you have to eat to live. You have to eat to live, and you're going to be tempted a lot more by food more than anything. And so it's really really important that you hammer down on what you're eating and get a really good routine and get into a really good groove and learn how to make food that you enjoy eating. That's the number one thing when it comes to your weight loss. When you want to level up, do not eat food that you don't enjoy. Okay. There are so many recipes out here. Cafe Delights. Cafe Delights is a really good website that you can use. She has all types of recipes, and she has like all types of recipes, any type of meat, any type of vegetable. She has really good recipes. She gives you all the calorie breakdown. Don't eat, don't sit here and force yourself to eat food that you don't like. Granted, depending on how poor your eating habits are, I mean, I'm not saying that you're going to enjoy everything, you know what I mean? But overall, you should be enjoying the food that you like eating. Make sure it's seasoned, make sure you marinate it. Make sure you cook it so that it's still juicy, it's got its flavor. Do waist trainers and sweatbands work for the waist area? They do, as long as you exercise. Another thing that you can practice when it comes to your weight, I was a gymnast for 13 years, okay? The It's kind of a gift and a curse, because the thing about me having love handles is, because the thing about love handles that is actually a good thing with me having them is because it does like give me more of like an hourglass. It kind of cinches in my waist because I have the fat. I have the fat being distributed here. The only issue is that I have hip dips. So I have hip dips. So like my waist will cinch in. I'll have the fat here, and then I'll have like an indent here, so it's not the most sightly. So I'm one of those people where if I wear a dress, I 100% have to wear shapewear to kind of cinch in the love handles. That way I have like, more of it being smooth. But one thing you can also practice doing is stomach vacuums. So pretty much stomach vacuums is when you still are breathing, and you suck in your stomach. You contract your abdominal muscles, and like you suck your stomach in, but you don't do it from your chest. Like you don't go, like you don't do that. Like, so you literally, like, hold on. So like I'm doing a stomach vacuum right now, and I'm talking to you normal. So like, and you can do it at intervals. So what you could do is you can start off at 10 seconds, and then work up to 15 seconds, and then work up to like 30 seconds. And then what you'll do like 30 seconds on, and then 30 seconds off, 30 seconds on, and you do that in like 6 sessions. And that really does I think it's your transverse abdominis that's the muscle that it works on, but that's like so your abdominal muscles, your transverse abdominis is like a rubber band. It's like a rubber band around your stomach. And so when you're doing a vacuum, it like cinches the rubber band in to kind of like make your waist a little bit smaller. Cuz see, my waist is wide. And it's another thing too. Understanding your genetics is important. Like understanding the realist the like you being realistic with your body, what it can do, what it can't do, your genetics and things like that. That's very, very important, because I have more of a wide waist, but my side profile is to die for, okay? Like I got the lumps and bumps, okay? Like I got the lumps and bumps, and I have like a very nice like hamstring bow. Like from the side, my side profile is a lot stronger than me forward facing. So, have you ever done CrossFit? Yes, I did CrossFit. I was a gymnast, and I was really good at CrossFit, to the point where the gym that I went to, they wanted me to like actually compete in CrossFit. But I wasn't that much into it. But I have done CrossFit. I've done every type of fitness you can think of. I've done rock climbing, I've done CrossFit, I've done pole dance fitness, I've done Pilates. I really enjoy fitness. Yeah, I hate quinoa. I hate quinoa. I only like quinoa when they at Sweet Green, when they put it in those bowls, because I like whatever sauce that they use. What was your favorite part about bodybuilding? My favorite part about bodybuilding was like it was the transitions, me watching my body change, me watching my body transform, and like me knowing that like my coach would send me a plan. And so it was always nice knowing that like if I follow this plan, like in a week, I'm gonna look in the mirror and like I'm gonna see changes to my body. And that's exactly what happened. Like I still have all of my check-in photos from bodybuilding because I still like to go back to them and like look at the evolution of the transformation going into a show. How many should I do a day? How many could you offer any arm exercises? Oh, like I told you guys, shoulder presses, lateral raises, Y's, bicep curls. You can do the tricep. You can do the tricep extensions. Those are really good. Um, yeah, that's really all you need. Tricep extensions, bicep curls, everything for your shoulders. And that's it. Because your shoulders have three separate muscles. So you want to do all the exercises for each part of your shoulder. Thank you. I've been doing 10 pull-ups a day at home. I need to try assisted pull-ups at the gym now. Yeah. I switched out regular rice for cauliflower rice, and I'm never going back. Cauliflower rice is so good. Like honestly, cauliflower rice is really, really good because it really, really takes on the flavor of what you're eating. Oh, y'all are making me so goddamn hungry. Y'all are making me so hungry. How did you learn pole dancing? Would love to start. Um, So before I actually got into stripping, there was a woman who had owned a pole dance studio where I had lived at the time. And they had like an open house, and I went to the open house and I just started taking classes. When I lived in New York City, I took a class there too. I did. I took a class out there in New York City. The thing about it is that the pole dance community, it's not as many brick and mortars as it used to be. I feel like um, most of the time you're really gonna only look out with a pole dance studio if you live in a major city or if you are near a major city. Pole dance classes are very hard to come by nowadays. What fitness activity do you not care for? Honestly, it's really not any fitness activity that I don't care for. Like I wouldn't mind boxing. I've done kickboxing classes. Like that's the thing. Like I've done Zumba, I've done step classes, I've done kickboxing classes. I wouldn't mind doing oh, you know what? I do like I've done the boot camp classes. The only thing I haven't done is boxing, and I don't think I would mind that. Actually, I would like to do boxing, to be honest. I have a pole at home, but still haven't been able to fully pull myself up on the pole. It's all good. You'll get there. You'll get there. I'm gonna have to save this on my live playlist. So many gyms in here. Oh, it's okay. Y'all, my live is lagging. Well, thank you. But yeah, do your thing. Save it. Save it and listen to it once it actually goes like, once it's saved. So I pretty much gave you all. Oh, another thing too. Make sure that when you're we already talked about diet. So you want to have high protein. Okay? That's important. You want to have high protein. Protein is the number one thing that's going to keep you satiated. It's going to keep you full. Okay. The ultimate goal is to eat zero point 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per body weight. Okay. So if you weigh 150 pounds, the goal would be eating anywhere between 140 to 150 grams of protein daily. Okay. That should be the number one thing that you are prioritizing, your protein intake. Okay. Protein keeps you full. Protein is a catalyst for protein synthesis to get you to build muscle. As a woman, muscle is very, very important for you because as you age, your muscle will reduce. That will increase your risk of things like osteoporosis. And once you hit menopause, your muscle rapidly declines. Okay. So you definitely want to prioritize your protein. It's always hard at first to get in the protein. I understand that. But you should be having protein at every meal. Every single meal you should be having protein. Examples of protein that you can eat: eggs, Greek yogurt, protein powder, steak, ground beef, ground turkey, chicken, um, fish. So you can do a lean, you could either do a lean fish or a very fatty fish. So this is another thing too. Um, Understanding the fat content in like different cuts of meat and then also different types of fish. So like for instance, chicken thighs are high fat. Chicken breasts is virtually no fat. Chicken tenders, virtually no fat. Tilapia, virtually no fat. Cod, virtually no fat. Salmon, very high in fat. So understanding that too, you do want to also prioritize having a decent amount of fat in your diet because fat is for your hormonal support. So it is important to make sure that you're getting enough fat in your diet as well. And then for carbohydrates, um, most of us don't need as many carbs as we think we do. Carbohydrates are only really intended as an energy source. So this is why I told you guys that, for me, I really only use carbohydrates pre-workout, post-workout. So that way I have enough energy for the workout and then I can kind of like refuel the energy that was lost during the session with carbs after the fact. If you usually pre-workout, you actually, so there's fast digesting carbs and there's slow digesting carbs. So fast digesting carbs are things like white rice, cream of rice, white bread, sugar. Those are all fast digesting carbs. This is why you'll see power lifters, they'll eat like Rice Krispies they'll eat Rice Krispies like in between sets or like right before. It's because those carbs digest quickly, and so you'll have them in the reserve for glucose to use during your weightlifting session. Okay, you don't want to. I'm not saying like none of these are rules. Okay, I want to make that clear. None of these are rules. It's just kind of based off of like what we know about glucose, how your body stores glucose, how your body is working, and the fuel that it's using for your workout. I'm not saying you have to do any of this. These are just the common practices. I know plenty of bodybuilders who eat oatmeal before their workout. Well, oatmeal is a slow digesting carbs. Doesn't make a world of a difference, okay? Slow digesting carbs, oatmeal, brown rice, quinoa, sweet potato. Also for fast digesting carbs, yellow potato, gold potato. Yeah. And then also you obviously want to get enough fiber from vegetables, okay? Enough fiber from vegetables, enough fiber from fruit as well, because you also want to make sure that you get your minerals and your nutrients. Your minerals and your nutrients are primarily going to come from your vegetable intake, and then also making sure that you're taking a multivitamin of some sort. And then obviously reducing sugar and processed food. You don't have to cut out all sugar. You don't have to cut out all sugar. The biggest thing is that only have sugar like when you actually have to use it. The whole purpose of carbohydrates is for energy. That's the only reason why you need it, is for energy. So if you don't have any energy to expend, you don't need the sugar. And the biggest thing is drinking your calories, drinking those high calorie ass frappuccinos, drinking soda. The first thing I would do, I would cut out any liquid sugar. Okay? The frappuccinos, the sugary iced coffee, the sugary energy drinks, the soda, I would cut all that out. That would be the first thing that I would cut out, because liquid calories, you really don't realize how much sugar you're taking in and how much you're holding yourself back. So definitely get rid of those. Definitely get rid of all those liquid calories. I just joined. Can we ask anything? I don't want you to get off topic. I mean, as long as as long as it is relative to you leveling up. I feel like I should be paying for this info. Honestly, this is all the stuff that this is all stuff that you can find online, to be honest. The thing about it is that all of this info is here. It's just the harsh reality of it is that most people, like I'm just going to keep it real with you, most people have to hire a coach. Most people have to hire a coach because everybody's bodies responds to things differently. Um and then you stay more on track when you're paying someone. Like let's just keep it real. You're more consistent when you're paying someone. So like my best friend, she needed help losing weight and she legit paid me. Like she legit was my client. Ooh yeah, ribeyes, chicken wings, salmon. Whoo, all that sounds good. I know they have this activity that you can start breaking everything. I've been locking in on my protein. That boxing will help release all that mess. What are your top 5 sources of protein? Well, I kind of named them earlier. So, eggs, Greek yogurt, steak, ground beef, chicken. Those are my top 5. That and I eat that every day. Every single day. And like you can also like the thing about it too, you can like swap out things as well. So like for instance, I like to make Chipotle bowls. I like to make my own homemade Chipotle bowls. And like sour cream is like very high fat, like very, very high fat. So what I like to do is I like to take plain Greek yogurt and I like to put Frank's Red Hot. I like to mix the Greek yogurt, plain Greek yogurt, with Frank's Red Hot, and then put that on my Chipotle bowl. So I'm getting like no fat and then extra protein. What do you think about low carb, keto, carnivore? Once again, it works. It works for certain people. It works for certain people. A lot of the thing with weight loss is trial and error. Not everyone does well on keto. Not everyone does well on carnivore. Because there's different body types. You have mesomorph, ectomorph, endomorph. There's different body types. And everyone's resistance to insulin is different. Everyone's genetics is different off of how they process food. So the hardest thing about weight loss and you trying to level up your weight loss is a lot of it is trial and error. You could do. There are people that do 6 small meals a day, 3 medium-sized meals a day. There are some people that do OMAD. They do 1 meal a day. There are some people that do intermittent fasting. They may do intermittent fasting for 16 hours. Some people do it 18 hours. Like there's so much variation, in this. The biggest thing is that you choose not a diet, because it's not a diet, but you have to choose a lifestyle that you can sustain. If you start carnivore, don't think, oh, I'm going to be carnivore for 6 months and then I'm going to go back to eating carbs and everything else. No, only choose a way of eating that will be sustainable to you. If you look in the future and you can't see yourself doing carnivore 2 years, 5 years, 10 years from now, don't do it, because all that's going to happen, you're going to gain the weight back. I'm excited for your spiritual channel. I've never been a spiritual girly, raised Roman Catholic. Same here. I also was raised Roman Catholic. Mostly atheist, agnostic, would think those newspaper horoscopes were silly as a kid, etc. Yeah, I used to think that too. But then I started looking more into it and I was like, oh wow, okay. I actually this stuff actually checks out. Carnivore worked for me, but only the first month. After that, it stopped working. Exactly. So that's the thing. Like, no quick fixes. Like, I know it sounds cliche when people say it's a lifestyle, but it is a lifestyle. If you can't do this forever, if you can't make this your way of life for the rest of your life, you're doing something that's unsustainable. The same thing with working out. If you know that for the rest of your life you cannot work out 5 days a week, then don't start working out 5 days a week. Okay, so the next step, sorry, is step 6, elevating your beauty and your feminine energy, okay? We talked about it at the very beginning. Your internal, who you are internally, you, it's called an aura, okay? An aura. In aura, it actually can be measured, okay? And your aura is pretty much like your energetic field, okay? That's what it is. It's your energetic field. And that energetic field that you're giving out to other people is coming from your internal state, okay? It's coming from your internal state. This is actually like a way that people like prey on people and they can see them as like being victims. It's because their aura, so they might give off an aura of being vulnerable, impressionable, naive, very trusting, and so that makes it very easy for them to get preyed on. If you have an aura of, confidence, you have an aura of being strong-willed, you have an aura of just knowing yourself and liking yourself, that's what is going to project off, and that is what people are going to pretty much read you of, okay? And so that's where your presence should really come from. It should be coming from how you are on the inside and how you feel on the inside, okay? So that's the first thing. People feel your energy before you say a word. They do. They feel your energy before you say a word, before you shake their hand, anything. People know automatically what type of person you are, and you don't have to tell them anything. So I think that's important. I already talked about my skincare, what I do personally for my skincare. Um, if you're having skincare issues, don't be afraid to go to the dermatologist. Okay. I had insurance. I was paying for insurance, and I had too much pride to go to the dermatologist when I was a little bit younger. And then once I finally went, I was able to get treated and they fixed it right away. I already talked about that earlier. Um, you need to know your skin type. Are you oily? Are you combination? Do you have dry skin? That's very, very important. Obviously, if you have dry skin, you're gonna need more moisturizing. You're also, no matter what, you always need SPF. But dry skin also will make you age faster. So you need to make sure you're using things like hyaluronic acid, you're taking collagen, things like that to kind of keep your skin plump, moisturized, very supple. When you have oily skin, obviously you are going to be more prone to your pores being clogged. You're going to be more susceptible to more bacteria. So you're going to be more prone to breakouts. So things like salicylic acid, benzoyl peroxide. If you have hyperpigmentation, azelaic acid is very good. Niacinamide is very good. Brands that you can use that are very cheap, good molecules, very cheap, very affordable. They make very good products for skincare. The Ordinary, also very cheap. They make great products for skincare. They also sell that at Ulta. As far as your hair, um girl, whether you're wearing it natural, whether you're wearing a wig, whatever you're doing, the biggest thing is just always take care of your natural hair. Like always, always, always take care of your natural hair. I know it can be really easy, especially for us black women, to just like throw on a wig or, get braids or whatever like that. But it's really, really important for you to take care of your natural hair. Also knowing like your hair type. Um, are you 3C? Are you 4A? Are you 2A? Do you have low porosity? Do you have high porosity? Um, and also just making sure that you go to a trusted person to do your hair. Um, I like to wear my hair like naturally curly in the summer, and so I do have a curly girl salon stylist who yeah, I use salon products. So I use the brand Inner Sense. I use the brand Inner Sense for my hair. And that brand works really good. I also I use a hard water remover on my hair as well. That always makes a big difference to my hair. A very, very big difference to my hair. And also like making sure that like your scalp is stimulated. So they have like scalp massagers. You can get hot oil treatments. Maybe I'll do a video on how to grow your hair because like I'm really, really good at growing my hair. I can grow my hair very, very long. So maybe I'll share that like routine with you guys. And then makeup and then fashion. Um, I'm about 90% positive that I'm gonna so on TikTok, they've suppressed my content. Okay. They suppressed my content. I've tested out the algorithm to see what it's rewarding. And yeah, they're clearly rewarding right wing ideology. And so they've suppressed my content. So if there's anyone that follows me on TikTok, that's the reason why you're not seeing me on my For You page, because number one, I'm not posting. And number two, when I am posting, they are hiding my content from you. And so in most cases, I'm going to do a makeup channel on TikTok. I made a video about talking about me doing it a couple days ago. I'm just going to start a whole new page on TikTok and just do makeup content. And I'll leave the other page up for people to, watch all of my other, content that I have about male nature. Yeah. So for makeup and for fashion, understanding your body type, understanding your undertones. Okay, so are you an olive undertone? Are you cool undertone, warm undertone, things like that? You can look all of this stuff up. You can look all this stuff up. Queen, how can you have confidence without coming across cocky? Cocky is a perception. Okay, like that's the thing. Cocky is a perception perceived by other people. I feel like this. You coming off as cocky is nobody else's issue but theirs. That's just how I look at it. Anyone that thinks you're cocky, it's a them problem. It's their issue to put up with. Because my thing is this: you cocky is like when you're intentionally putting down others. In my opinion, you have a very grandiose opinion of yourself. You think that you're just so much better. You think you're the best at everything. Like that's cocky. You know what I'm saying? You can be confident and people will still think that you're cocky. Okay. People will still think that you're cocky. Because the thing about it is this: people always want to tell you to be humble, be humble, be humble. No, if you know you're good at something, you're allowed to say that you're good at it. Like I was good at ultrasound. I'm allowed to say that I was good at ultrasound. Like I'm allowed to say like, hell yeah, like I know how to find cancers. I know how to take pretty pictures. I know how to give patient care. That doesn't make me cocky. That just makes me self-assured. Like I know that I'm good. I know that I'm good at my job. But there will be people who will be like, oh, she's cocky. She thinks she's full of herself. You know when you're cocky. Like, come on. You know when you're being cocky or not. Do you suggest wearing wigs or doing sew-ins? I want easy maintenance hair extension for summers. I like glueless wigs. I do. I like glueless wigs. I'm not back home in Indiana right now, and I already told you guys that like I'm gonna be working with OQ Hair. The only issue is that OQ Hair, you can only buy their wigs through TikTok Shop, so you have to follow me on TikTok. Um, you have to follow me on TikTok for you to be able to buy the wig through TikTok Shop. That way, I can make a commission off of it. But I like glueless wigs. I don't mind sew-ins. It's just the only issue is that obviously for sew-ins, you have to manipulate your natural hair in order to keep it blending in. And I got sew-ins like over the summer, and obviously I did give heat damage to my leave out, unfortunately. So in that front area, my curls are a little bit looser. So I've just been using glueless wigs. You can do braids. I cannot do braids because I am allergic to them unless they're using natural hair. I cannot get synthetic braids. I ended up getting seborrheic dermatitis when I got braids done, so I no longer can get them. Yes, I am humble, but I want to be self assured. Exactly. The thing about it is that two things can exist at once. You can be humble and still be self assured. The issue is that people equate humble with you doubting yourself. Like, that's the thing. People equate humble to you just being modest, and like you not realizing or knowing your true power or your true knowledge, or you know your your success, what you're good at, and things like that. When people say humble, they want you to look for external validation, in my opinion. That's what I think. People are like, you need to be humble. They don't want you to know what you are worth. They don't want you to know your own value, because they want you to turn outward to have other people validate you. And that's dangerous. I'm literally working out every night here in LA when I listen to you. You are so motivating, amazing content. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, same. I've cut my hair down 10 plus times because dye, bleach, relaxers, and can easily grow it back. Exactly. I have no attachment to my hair. I've had so my hair was like my natural hair was like literally like right here. Like that's like the longest that I've grown it. That's like the longest that I've grown it was like halfway to like my breast line, like my nipple line. And I literally cut it to my ears. I literally cut it to my ears, and I want to say for like 3 years I never let it grow below my shoulders, and like now it's like right here. So I don't have any attachment to my hair cuz I know it'll grow back. Yep, humble is a scam to keep you small. Exactly. I'm not going to be humble. Not happening. Um I already mentioned it with like well I already said well for I already talked about makeup, but for fashion, understanding your body type. Are you an apple shape? Are you a pear shape? Are you a square shape? Um Understanding like patterns, understanding colors, and then the same thing for makeup. Uh let me see. Okay, next step 7 is you securing the bag, okay? You getting your finances in order, okay? First of all, like having a rich mindset, understanding that the money, okay, like you can do this in like affirmations, but I like to say like money flows to me freely. Money looks for me in a room, in a crowd. Money stops at nothing to find me. Money is abundant. Money is everywhere. Money is at my access. Money is at my disposal. Understanding that money is not a bad thing, and that money is a tool to use to make your life easier. I feel like that's also another thing that we've been practiced and we've been taught to do. Pretty much like demonizing the idea of money, that money is this terrible thing. Yeah, they told us that to keep us poor. They told us that to keep us poor. Um and like get your money right now, start budgeting, start figuring out ways that you can cut corners. Like when I go back home, I'm probably just going to learn how to do my own nails. I know for sure I'm going to do my own no chip pedicures. I know for sure I'm going to do my own no chip pedicures, so I won't be paying for that either. Um, Looking at your budget, like what things are you wasting money on? Like, do you have like a lot of like streaming accounts? Do you, if you really pay attention to like what your monthly subscriptions are, I think the number one thing is that it's the monthly subscriptions. You got a $9.99 here, a $12.99 there, $11.99 here, a $15.99 here. That shit adds up. You know what I mean? Before you know it, you are spending like almost $200 on monthly memberships, and you don't even realize it. You're not even really using this stuff like that. Um, Also creating multiple income streams, okay? Side hustles like freelancing, digital products, content creation. I talked about it earlier, but I was saying how like I'm going to trade in my vehicle for a luxury vehicle and then buy my mom's second car, and then I'm going to just like going ahead and just rent out that luxury vehicle on Turo. That way I can make some passive income, and that way the car note can just pay itself. You can also invest into the stock market. You also can invest into crypto, especially if you have aspirations of going outside the country and living outside the country. There are actually a lot of countries that will accept cryptocurrency as payment. So even in other countries, it will work. Um, and then you can really make big girl moves, so you can start investing into real estate. Okay, so you can rent out an Airbnb. You can purchase a house and flip a house, and you could either sell it or you can rent it out. um yeah, and then just like budgeting with your beauty, like I said, your nails, your toes. You can order a little no chip kit with polishes and a curing set on Amazon. You can buy wigs and just pay like $50 to get your hair braided down and just wear your wigs. Um, if you want to buy luxury, you can get secondhand luxury. You can go to thrift stores to shop. They have all types of websites where you can get like used luxury items. Poshmark, you can sell your items that you don't want anymore. You can sell those on Poshmark. Mm, trying to think. Yeah, those are like all like very, very good ways that you can acquire more money and also save money as well. There's also a spiritual aspect to doing your own hair and nails. You never know the true energy of the person touching you and the energies that might be attached to you. 100%. 100%. Be prepared for the upcoming recession. Yeah, yeah, it's coming. I predict 2027 at the latest. 100%. Like this time more than ever, you definitely need to be paying down your debt. Okay, paying down your debt and making sure that you're saving up as much money as possible because it's gonna get rough out here. It is. It's definitely gonna get rough out here. Even and not only with your nails, like even with the wigs that I'm wearing, when you're wearing other people's hair, that also is like there's also like spirit that's attached to that. Pretty much any service or anything that you're wearing that like belongs to another person, there is some sense of like entity or spirit that is involved with it. Even with like tarot cards, like I remember when like I remember when I was like getting taught by my spiritual teacher, and like even before like you use tarot cards, like you sage them, you set an intention over them, like you pretty much do like a spiritual cleansing over the tarot cards, so that way like the person that you did a reading on or and really you shouldn't even be letting other people use your tarot cards. You shouldn't be letting anyone like touch, like your altar or things like that. Because you don't want like those other like outside, entities, in there. Yeah, I'm just too nervous to go on camera. I don't make sense. I guarantee you that you make sense, but also realize that you don't have to go on camera to make money. There are plenty of faceless channels out here who don't show their face at all. All you have to do is just download Final Cut Pro, whatever subject that you're talking about, just get a ton of pictures, get a ton of giffies, get a ton of video footage, and just show that while you're talking about whatever you want to talk about. Girl, I'm big on getting massages, but now I'm using discernment on who is touching me. Got to be mindful on who has their hands on you. Oh, 100%. There's been times where I've just stopped services altogether. Like, there's been times where, like, I remember when I was in New York City and I didn't like the woman doing my pedicure. Like, I just didn't like the woman doing my pedicure. And I was like, I want another person to do my pedicure. I requested other people to do my nails. Yeah, I'm big on that. I will raise hell and make them replace the person if I don't get vibes from the person. Or if the person just doesn't know what the fuck that they're doing. Yes, Capricorn equals money. Y'all are so good at budgeting and growing wealth. Uh-huh. For sure. They tell us a lot of things to keep us poor, girl. How often do you trim your ends? Whenever I take my braids out. So usually 6 to 8 weeks. Does double tapping the heart button push your live? I'm not too sure. I do know that the likes do. I haven't seen the likes. So if you guys haven't liked the live yet, please go on ahead and thumbs up the live. Please, please, please. Go on ahead and like. We only got 99 people in here, 97 people now. So I don't know where the likes are in comparison to who's here. But if you're here and you haven't liked it, I really would appreciate it if you liked the live. Because I can't see that information here on StreamYard. So I don't know how many likes there are. But I'm sure double tapping does. But go on ahead and double tap. Okay, the next thing, step 8 is to expand your social circle and your status. Building your network is your net worth. I am a firm believer in that. So dropping low value friendships and getting yourself into high value spaces, getting yourself with like minded people. Um, get on Eventbrite, okay? Eventbrite, they always are hosting events. They have female women empowered events. They have business conventions, women's only business conventions, mixers and things like that. Eventbrite is a very, very good resource that you can use to be able to put yourself in rooms with people that are very like-minded. Um, Also going to places that you aspire to be at. So maybe there's a nice neighborhood that you want to live out. Go and eat at the places go eat at the places in those nice neighborhoods. If you can go do fitness classes in those nice neighborhoods, go do fitness classes in those neighborhoods. That way you can potentially make some friends with people who are already at where you want to be. I'm a firm believer that it's always best for you to be a small fish. It is. It's always good for you to be a small fish in a big pond because you'll have more to learn from people that are already in the space where you want to be. So I do feel like that is very important, in just building connections with powerful women. Not saying that it's easy. Definitely not saying that it's easy. Um, yeah, pretty much, just surrounding yourself with like-minded people. You know what I mean? And giving out that energy of what it is where you see yourself. You know what I mean? So then step 9 is walking in your power and embracing your femininity, um, creating a feminine aura for yourself. I already talked about confidence, but confidence and emotional control are like the most two important things that you can do and you can have as a woman, okay? You being confident women can really shake the room because just based off of patriarchy, based off of societal standards, we live in a world where women were supposed to suppress ourselves. We're supposed to be meek. We're supposed to be quiet. We're supposed to be docile. We're supposed to have a low self-esteem and not like ourselves. And so one of the most powerful things that you can do is to step into your confidence. And also, the next thing is to have emotional control, understanding how to emotionally regulate, and also being able to detect what emotion that you are having. You can Google the emotion wheel. When you look at the emotion wheel, you realize that, goddamn, it's a lot of emotions. When you are able to pinpoint what emotion you are feeling in that moment, essentially what you are doing is you are able to kind of redirect. You're able to kind of redirect, not how you're feeling, but redirect your response to the emotion. You know what I mean? So if you're feeling guilty, you can kind of unpack that and look at it from an objective standpoint instead of feeling guilty and then feeling like, oh, well, I feel guilty. So now I have to like overperform and now I have to like people please because I feel guilty for something that happened in the past. Also, your body language, being poised, having your chin up, having your chest out, walking with confidence, slowing down your speech, and just like owning the room, like commanding a presence when you walk into a room. You want to walk into a room and you want everyone to look at you and be like, who's that girl? Who is she? You know, they will feel your aura, they will feel your presence when you walk into the room. The next is emotional discipline, okay? No begging, no desperation, no chasing, okay? Anyone, a man, a friend, a family member, none of that, okay? Let the people fall off naturally, okay? People that are meant to be in your life, you will never have to ask them to stay in your life. Never. The next thing is your mystique and your discernment and your detachment, being selective with your energy, okay? Being greedy with your energy and understanding that people having access to you is a privilege, okay? It's not a right. You 100% should be picky regarding the people that you allow to surround yourself with, have a conversation with, share space with. Your energy is something that is very sacred and it's something that you should be very protective over. So 100% you need to keep your energy selective, okay? And then the very last step 10, is just to commit, okay? Like everything that we've discussed, commit to it, okay? Um don't make excuses for yourself. Like you literally have 3 to 4 months to completely improve yourself. Like make a very very large improvement on yourself, physically, emotionally, mentally, financially. If you commit to the steps that I've given you, and you commit to the things that I've told you to do, I'm telling you, you are going to look back at yourself and you're going to be unrecognizable. You're going to be a completely different person. Okay. I'm telling you. Just make sure that you stay accountable. Make sure that you are making goals for yourself that are actually obtainable. Okay. Like by the time summer is here, um, make sure that you're realistic. Like obviously, in most cases, being a millionaire by the summer, it most likely won't be realistic. You know what I'm saying? But maybe if you can increase, like maybe you can make like 2,500 extra dollars. You know what I mean? 2,500 extra dollars. On top of your regular income. It's still extra money. It's extra money that you have now, as opposed to you not doing these things and you not having the money at all. You know what I'm saying? So, um, yeah. I leave these dudes on red. Don't rush reply. Exactly. Yes. A no 20-pound paragraph text. Yep. What's a good time to stop eating before bed? I snack too much. There is no, so like, that's like one of those myths. There's no such thing as like, your body doesn't have a clock on when it's going to stop burning calories. It's really just based upon what you're doing. So, like, obviously, when you're sleeping, you're still burning calories when you're sleeping, but obviously, you're not burning as many calories when you're sleeping as opposed to when you are up, moving, working out throughout the day. So it's not really a certain time that you have to stop eating. I eat before I sleep all the time. I just make sure that once I'm done eating, I like walk around for like 10 minutes to go on ahead and digest all the food, help the digestion process, and then I go to sleep. Not that big of a deal. The biggest thing is that you're just eating. If weight loss is your goal, just eat less calories than what you're burning. That's the most important thing. But you also have to be careful with the snacking. If you snack a lot, you should be tracking your calories for sure. Hi, Sovereign. Hope you're doing well tonight. Love your sleep tattoo. Thank you. What if you only have the phone, though? I don't even know what that was in response to. I like the live, but I want to push your algorithm. Listen, as long as you're subscribed, as long as you like comment, as long as you like I will be rewarded, and you're already viewing it. So that's really all you got to do. Like, view, comment. That's really it. You must have been asking me that regarding content creating. All of that stuff, you can do it on your phone. You can download Final Cut Pro on your phone, CapCut on your phone, and you just do a voice recording. So like do a voice recording on your phone, go on Pinterest, download all the pictures that you want to download, and then you'll just add the audio to Final Cut Pro, and then you'll just upload the pictures. And you'll just like time how long you want each picture to be up. Usually like because it's called B-roll. So B-roll is um like it's outside footage, okay? Like it's outside footage. So pretty much like usually a lot of people do it like every 5 seconds. So they put on a new picture every 5 seconds. You also can do a faceless page on Instagram. So like let's just say you want a motivational channel, you want a female empowerment channel. You can use Canva. So download Canva, and they can and you there's like a way you can pick like the Instagram things, and you can like set a background, make like a cute little font of something. You have to look up all of this stuff because like it's different for each platform. But yeah, pretty much if you want to do content creating, all you really need is Final Cut Pro or CapCut and Canva. That's really all you need if you want a faceless channel. I try to keep my sacks as seeds and fave fruit. That sounds so good. Ah, that sounds so good. Cocoa powdered almonds are good snacks and low carbs, and they satiate you a bit. I love cocoa powdered almonds so much. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're an eye person, but how important is sleep to you? How many hours of sleep and beauty rest do we ladies need? So studies do show that as women, we need a lot more sleep than men. Because I'm working for myself, um, I'm able to be a night owl, but I still make sure I get 8 to 9 hours of sleep a night. So like usually I'm not even really waking up until like 11, like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock because I go to sleep so late. Um, it doesn't matter really what time you fall asleep necessarily. The biggest thing is that you just try your best to at least get a minimum of 8 hours of sleep. It's hard. It's definitely hard, but I'm a night owl. You're doing such a wonderful job. You're a natural. I'm learning so much. Thank you. Thank you. Any tips on finding your style, fashion? Just go on Pinterest. Go on Pinterest and there's all types. Well, no, actually, no. Let's think of this. Think of girls, think of women that you liked growing up. Like, were there any supermodels? Were there actresses? Um, are there women on Instagram that you see that you like? Pay attention to the women that you're liking on Instagram, the women that you admire, that you look at, you think they're pretty. That will usually steer you to what like your beauty image is, your beauty identity, I guess. Because, like me, I have like more of a fluid beauty identity. So I'm kind of like Rihanna. Like, I'm kind of like Rihanna in a sense. I will be super dressy. I'll wear all pink. I'll wear the super like the stiletto heels, and I have like a cute little bag. But then like today, I wore a trucker hat, super baggy pants, New Balance shoes, and like a mink coat. You know what I mean? I have a fluid beauty identity. It depends on what mood I wake up in. Some days I'm very sporty, so I'll wear like a two-piece Lululemon set. Um, some days I want to dress like business casual, so I'll wear like a blue button up and I'll wear some black slacks. And that's another thing too. You don't have to fit into any box if you don't want to. Like if you wake up one day, you wake up one morning and you want to goth it all out with all black and you want to wear fishnets and you want to wear black platform boots, wear it. Love sleeping late when I can't. Girl, I love sleeping late. That was one of the things I did not miss about healthcare, having to wake up so goddamn early. Oh my God. Yep, I have a photo album dedicated to fashion, beauty, makeup, inspo. Yeah, Pinterest is your best friend. Please, like, use Pinterest. You can literally create a whole wall. You can create a whole wall and do different walls. So you could do beauty inspo, you could do makeup inspo, you could do hair inspo. I had a goth emo phase. Girl, I did too. I like Tiana Taylor and her fashion is top tier. Yeah, and like I feel like um Tiana Taylor is like she really does embrace her androgyny because Tiana Taylor is a very androgynous woman. Um she's a woman with feminine qualities, but you can also see like the masculine qualities in her. Like she has like a very chiseled jaw. She has like very like deep piercing eyes. You know, she's got the six-pack abs. You know, she has a lot of androgyny, and so she tends to, she tends to dress like that. You know, she'll wear, baggy pants and tight tops. And she, like, even on like her super sweet 16, she was like more of like a tomboy, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's the beauty of us being women. The beauty, that's the one thing. Unlike men, we don't we don't have to just fit into one box. Like when it comes to men and beauty standards, they're stuck being ugly. They're stuck not having an opportunity to enhance their beauty. We can do anything. That's why a lot of them are jealous. Pink and white looks so pretty and soft on you for the camera. I don't remember seeing you in too much dark. Do you prefer soft colors or depends on your mood? I really like soft colors. I do. I really, really like pink. I love wearing pink, like a very pretty pastel pink. Um, I like color. I do. I like color. We really live, especially here in the United States. We everyone wears black, everyone wears gray, like even the houses, when you go to other countries, I love going to other countries and seeing like the houses all being different colors, yellow, orange, pink, green, red. Like I absolutely love it. Here in the United States, it's just everything is just bleh. Like no one wears color. It's all just basic primary colors, neutral colors. Just no life. Like no life. I like having like it'll be a soft color, but then also like there's this dress that I'm gonna order, and it's got like 8 different colors in it. It's like a crochet dress from Akira, and it's literally got like 7 different colors, like pink, orange, green, red, yellow, white. Like, and I can't wait to wear it in the summer. I'm gonna wear it with like a really pretty pair of like white mule kitten heels. I like color. Yes, on the same times I shop in the men's section and other times in women's. Yeah, like I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. That's like the best thing that you can do as a woman, you know? Because like if you go back in history, women weren't allowed to wear pants. Women were not allowed to wear pants. Like Coco Chanel was one of the first people to create the pantsuit. And I love wearing pantsuits. I love wearing pantsuits so much. Call me Kamala Harris with my pantsuit on. I'll rock a pantsuit in a minute. Yes, Tiana Taylor and Lori Harvey are besties. Love them both. Super gorgeous black ladies who don't give a F. Exactly. Like they date who they want, do what they want, dress how they want. Like they don't care. Like they don't give a fuck at all. They're cool. They're happy. They're happy with who they are. Your outfit's so fire. I like color too. Thank you. I love being a fashionista. I love being a fashionista. One day I may serve Bratz doll. One day I might serve Kamala Harris in my pantsuit. It all depends on the day. One day I might serve Elle Woods from Legally Blonde and wear all pink and wear my cute little heels, and it just depends on what mood I'm in. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get off of here. I'm starving. Y'all made me very hungry. Y'all made me very hungry, and I spoke about everything that I needed to. So I hope you all enjoyed the live today. I do. I hope you all enjoyed the live today. Um oh no, you're joining in as I'm leaving. I'm sorry. I'm not too sure if I'm gonna go live tomorrow or not because I have to like prepare to like travel over the weekend. So yeah, but I appreciate you all for joining me. Um, yeah, just please don't forget, if you catch this after the live, please drop in a comment and let me know what you thought about the live. If you are not subscribed already, please go on ahead and subscribe. Also, do not forget I have my Patreon, that's already linked in the description. And then I'm also offering one-on-one consultations. That is also in the description for you to check out. So, yeah, I'm gonna go eat me. I don't know. I'm probably gonna make me a steak. I'm starving. But I will talk to you, Sovereign Sisters, next time. Bye.